days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolves, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the Comic Relief Crusader. Hello, everybody out in the Geekosphere. It is I, the Comic Relief Crusader, and ready for another titillating Tuesdays of mirth and merriment. And to all of you that are out there, welcome to the chat. Who do we already have? We got Penny. That's already first one here in the chat. Hello, Penny. It's nice to see you. And we got the one and only Christian Delorme. Hey, man. What's up, dude? Awesome to see you guys. And hopefully we're going to be expecting more to drop in any moment. So I hope everybody's weekend went pretty well and that everybody's Monday was a-okay. Remember, it's the start of the week where you start getting paid when you go to work. So just remember that. So Mondays don't seem as dismal as they usually are for a Monday. And also, just a reminder to everyone, as I mentioned last week, a friend of mine, Akira's son, is needing some help. He has two kids with him on top of that, and he needs help out there. So I put a link in the description below. If anybody can help out this guy, he's a wonderful friend. He's a good dad and a fellow nerd. And if anybody is willing to help him out with a little bit of fundage to help a fellow human being out, then please click on the link and help a fellow human being out. So. And that's his GoFundMe right there. So how's everybody else been doing lately? Penny. Yesterday I saw Shazam, and today I watched 65. How was that? I'm hearing mixed things about Shazam. A lot of people saying, "Oh no, it bombed at the box office," but I liked the first movie, and I'm hoping that the second movie is just as good because, I do like Zachary Levi and 65 with, what's his name? Kylo Ren. That's the only name I know him by. What is it? Adam Driver or something like that? I don't know. It looks interesting. And I'm guessing they go back in time, to the age of dinosaurs. And I don't know. It looks like sci-fi meets Jurassic Park, but I'm not sure. So Shazam was fun. Oh, good. Well, then I just might have to check that out. So, because like I said, the first movie was pretty good. So I'm really hoping for the best for that movie. I really, really am. So, Well, if anybody wants to also join in like I said, there is a link in the description. And if anybody wants to pop on in, then they may. And we'll just make another fun, titillating Tuesdays, as it were. So, why don't we start out, as we always do, with, with our stupid news of the week. Oh, God. This one, oh, okay. 65 was a 3 out of 5. That's still not bad. I can go with that. Um, yeah, because, I mean, dinosaurs, right? God, who doesn't like dinosaurs? So, this week, yeah, our stupid news of the week. Oh, this is hilarious. So, everybody, how dare you drink coffee? How dare you? How dare you? Is God. Oh, God, thank you for people out there that put out this ridiculous news. Is coffee racist? How drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy. Oh my God. Where do these people come up with this kind of stuff? Created by black people for black people, and now a pillar of white supremacist capitalism. If you consume coffee, you are helping an industry built on racism. Oh, God. Let me tell you something, folks. Okay? Because I'm up here in Canada, as many of you know, and usually in the morning, I like to start my day off with a nice cup. Me and my wife, a nice cup of Tim Hortons coffee. And for all of you guys down in the states, Tim Hortons it's kind of like your Dunkin' Donuts down there, right? Now, I don't know much about Dunkin' Donuts. It's kind of like Tim Hortons, donuts, coffee, blah blah blah. And well, I don't know if you dare drink it. Ooh, shame on you. I thought this was hilarious. There's nothing racist about coffee. Nothing. I don't know how they equate this this thing, drinking coffee, with white supremacy. Like, are you serious? This restaurant is too noisy. Catch up when I get home. Okay, not a problem. Um, yeah, I mean, every morning my wife and I will go to Tim Hortons. We'll grab a coffee right before I open up the shop here, and it's how everybody gets a start to their day. A cup of Joe, right? Doesn't matter if you take it black or just with one sugar or two sugar or a couple of cream and a couple of sugar or whatever. I mean, this is this is too far. You know what? And generally I don't share the article, but you know what? In this case, I'm going to share the article. I am, because this is just so wacky. Where is it here? Here it is. Okay. So this is put out by a website, okay? Afru.com. And I'm thinking that it's run by a few oh, Sherry. Hey, Sherry, how's it going? Awesome to see you here. I'm glad you could drop by. Stick around because you just made it in time for the stupid news of the week. So you're going to get a good laugh out of this. I guarantee it. Same with you, Christian. Yeah, so this website, okay, afro.com, I believe it is run by a bunch of Black Americans, and this is the article that they put out. Is coffee racist? So, how drinking coffee can perpetuate white supremacy? Okay, just as I read. So, consumed by black people for black people, or created by black people for black people. Right there, that's false. Okay, because coffee, historically speaking, has started out in Yemen. which is on the Saudi Arabia Peninsula. Okay. Um, Arabs, Arabs. Okay. Not black people. And you know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter at this point whether what ethnicity started with coffee. Okay, but now it's a pillar of white supremacist capitalism. If you consume coffee, you're helping create an industry built on racism. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to read this because it's just going to be fun. Okay, starting this out. Okay, because this is, oh god, this is just hilarious. Okay, if you're a person of color, you know what I'm talking about. You walk into a new coffee shop and your senses are overwhelmed with whiteness. God, and you get the glare from the Karens. Oh my god, the white hipster barista lines herself up between you and the bathrooms, ready to tell you non-customers aren't welcome. Oh, for Pete's sake, come on. If you have a white coffee drinking friend, jeez, see, even the mention of color is in itself racist, but this is just so ridiculous. He or she may have even let you in on the old coffee joke white coffee drinkers share when POC aren't around. POC, people of color, aren't around. There are three things that are necessary in order to make a cup of coffee. They are first a black man to roast the coffee. Okay, that's wrong. Second, a yellow man to grind it, and third, a white man to drink it. What? What? Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, and lovely Sherry, coffee isn't racist. You can have it black with whole milk, skim milk, or coconut milk. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Super Goji, nice to see you back, man. There were a couple of people that dropped by a couple of weeks ago and wondering if you were okay, that your channel's back, but or your channel was gone. So I'm glad that you're back. Um, so first of all, a lot of coffee nowadays comes from Central America, and I'm pretty sure they're not black, and they're Hispanic people. And what is it with a, a yellow man to grind it? Are they referring? I'm assuming to what, Japanese people, Chinese people, Indonesian people? I don't know. I really don't understand that. And third, a white man to drink it. So I'm pretty sure, like, it doesn't matter what your color is, anybody can drink coffee. It's not just white people. Well, I'm here to validate your lived experience. Coffee is, in fact, horribly racist. And here's the data to pick it up. Oh, God, this is going to be so funny. Every facet of the coffee industry is, in fact, rooted in racism. No, it's not, because I just said it can trace its origins back all the way to Yemen, which is in Saudi Arabia, which are Arabs. From the moment the whites viciously stole coffee from black and brown people to present day Karen sipping her morning coffee of white supremacy, whites have been able to drink the fruits of our labors and our culture with impunity. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Um, oh, and he says, yep, got some new plans for my channel. Glad to be back. Awesome, dude. I'm happy for you. Yeah, and Sherry, you are right. It doesn't matter. It really, honest to God, doesn't matter. Janet from another planet. Hello, my Janet from another planet. It's awesome to see you. You made it just in time for stupid news of the week before we get on to other things. And you know what, guys? Like I mentioned before, there is a link in the description if you want to join in on this mirth and merriment before we get to the news and what we're going to be talking about. If you want to hop on in and join in, hop on in. So, oh my God, this is so hilarious. Okay, an Afrocentric and anti-colonial and anti-racist history of coffee. Oh my God. Okay, this is gonna be, buckle up, guys. You know, I should drink. I guess I should drink tea, but wouldn't that be culturally appropriating Asian culture then? So there's nothing more important to Black folks than learning about their rich history and embracing the unequaled creativity and genius of their blackness. Okay, sure. Nothing wrong with that. It's only recently that historians have begun to recognize their achievements, the achievements of black people, from building the pyramids to composing classical symphonies. Okay, what? Classical symphonies. If they're talking about like all the classical music that was done by Germans, Austrians, even Russians and French, and I'm sorry, they were all white. So if anybody knows of any black classical symphonies, I'd be open to listen to it. As for the pyramids, when they did DNA testing, they found out that they were more closely linked to Europeans than anybody else in Africa. So I'm just sharing the science to creating the day-to-day life fuel of the white supremacist capitalist system. My God. Oh, this is hilarious. It's true. No, it's not. The history of coffee is both fascinating and tragic, writes Phyllis Johnson, founder of BD Imports. In Strong Black Coffee, why aren't African Americans more prominent in the coffee industry? Maybe because African Americans don't want to make coffee? Like, does it matter? Working to, you know what? I don't even know if I want to go through this because it's just so ridiculous. Okay. Working through this unpleasant history is necessary for everyone involved in coffee. Okay. For some, this history is a source of empowerment. For others, it's a source of anger, hurt, and shame. Oh my God. Give me a break. Unfortunately, for many, this history is unknown. Nope, not really, because history's recorded it. It's important that we understand and acknowledge this history. Well, like I said, it traces all the way back to Yemen in the Saudi Peninsula, uh, where the Arabs lived. So it's a well known fact. Oh, here we go. It's a well known fact that whites should be eating bland food like plain bread and gruel. Oh my God. Are you serious? Well, I don't eat bland food. Um, that's the beauty about food. You can add anything you want on it. If it weren't for their theft of culinary secrets from people of color, especially black folks, that's precisely why when the whites found out about coffee, it became one of the reasons they decided to victimize and appropriate black civilization wholesale. Oh my God. This is Super Goji reviews. I'm so confused about this article. I know, right? Hey, John Rendell, how's it going, my friend? It's awesome to see you here. You just made it in time for Stupid News of the Week. So you're going to get a laugh out of this one. And I'm sure probably Janet is just scratching her head like, what? Like, they can't be serious. So for look, just for some of you that have just popped in right now, okay? All right. Coffee is racist, and how drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy. Oh my God. Okay. The first coffees exported to North America and Europe were harvested by slaves. Wrong. No, they weren't. Okay. They were not. Saudi Arabian people, yet again, Johnson wrote, later enslaved Africans prepared and served coffee for their slave owners when they were not laboring in the fields. Oh, Lord, this is hilarious. Coffee first came to North America and Europe between 1650 and 1700. Yeah, well, that's pretty much almost as accurate. But coffee was an important, almost religious part of the black culture, going as far back as the 1400s in Ethiopia. Well, no, it actually goes further back in time than that because the Arabs were drinking it for hundreds of years before that. So, After the whites got their first sip of their black delicacy, they brutally enslaved people of color to keep up with the demand, turning a ritualistic drink into another consumer product and their colonial capitalist machine. Oh my god. This is hilarious. Lovely Sherry, I sent you a few composers on Twitter DM. Oh, did you really? Oh, well, that's awesome, Sherry. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that because, like I said, if there are, I will be pleasantly surprised, and I do actually want to hear. So, black composers. I'm gonna read them off here if you don't mind, Sherry. Okay, black composers: Florence Price Symphony Number 3 in 1938. Oh, really? Okay. Samuel Coleridge Taylor Symphony in A minor, 1896. Oh, okay, cool. Joseph uh, Bologna, is it Bologna? Chevalier de Saint George Symphony Number 2 in D, 1779. Okay, cool. William Levi Dawson, Negro Folk Symphony, 1934. And William Grant Still Symphony Number 2, Song of a New Race, 1937. Okay, cool. Well, then you know what? I'm going to check them out. So there you go. Because I would rather be pleasantly wrong than say no. There were no black composers. What I'm saying is that most of the ones that we're familiar with. See, because I wasn't familiar with this. So, you know what? And I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to share this with everybody because yeah, everybody should know about this. I hope I'm not. Okay. No, because I do want to expand my knowledge, and if there are, then great. I want to listen to it. So, and Sherry, thank you for sharing this. I really appreciate it. So I hope I can fit it all in the chat. So, and Stephen Ransom's here. Hello, Stephen Ransom. So, okay, there you go. I put it in the chat. But you know what, guys? Okay, yeah, because I'm not going to go on very long about this. Okay, but coffee has its history, like I said before, on the Arabian Peninsula, and Arabs drank it, and it's not like Europeans or even early North Americans at the time went out of their way to bash white people over coffee and whatnot. I mean, come on. And most of it's grown now in Central America, where it's pleasantly harvested and nurtured and taken care of and processed by Hispanic people. So, it's this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Coffee does not support coffee is not racist. Coffee does not perpetuate white supremacy. I mean, I just thought this was just stupid. And we got also Pacific 414. Hey, dude, what's up? But no, you know what, Sherry? Thank you for that information. I do definitely want to look up that. So I would love to join you if you want. Well, that's why the link is there. I don't care who it is, as long as you want to come on in and have fun. So that's what this is all about. So Super Goji reviews. I remember when we did the upcoming movies list and what our thoughts were. That was fun. Yeah, it was fun. So John Rendell, Juan Valdez is picking coffee all by himself. God, that's right. All by himself. He's picking the coffee with his little birdo. So, coffee, the real nectar of the gods, perhaps the fruit of knowledge. You are totally right on that. So, and Disney Sheepherder, hey, dude, what's up? You made it in time. You guys made it in time for the stupid news of the week. So, yeah, apparently coffee is racist. And if you drink it, you're supporting white supremacy. So there you go. And like I said, in the description, if you follow it, there is a link if you want to join in before we get on to the next couple of topics, which is going around like crazy. Lost Wanderer. Wait, if I don't drink coffee, does that mean I'm free of reparation payments? No, no, it doesn't. So, God. And the lovely Sherry says, my great grandfather had a coffee business. He would pay to have it harvested and sold at factories. There you go. See, legally, and honestly, like there's nothing wrong with an honest day's work and paying an honest wage to people that do the work. This has nothing to do with white supremacy, and it has nothing to do with like white supremacist capitalism. And there's nothing wrong with capitalism whatsoever. If you're providing a service, doesn't matter what it is, and you happen to make a profit from it, like what I'm trying to do, with the shop that I have here doing graphic design. If you're providing something to people and you're trying to build an income so you can not only support your shop or your store, but also make a livable income from it as well, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. John Rendell says coffee bad, tea bad, food with flavor bad, everything bad. Except corn, John. Except corn. So it's eat the bugs, John Rendell. Yes, that's what they're trying to promote next. So Stephen Ransom, again, this white boy has been accused since 2012. Guilty, I guess that's right. God, it seems like no matter what we do, we're just guilty. So yeah, you know. Disney Sheepherder, for those people who write those columns, love to lie, hate, and divide. Yep, that's right. Why give them a reaction? That's exactly what they want. Yep, ignore these clowns. Oh no, I know. You just have to point out how ridiculous they are. That's right. Yeah. Court Hob. Oh, I've been listening on Saturday. Don't kid yourself. I listened to everything while I was at work. I had to turn on the live chat to see the comments. Oh, okay, yeah. So, and you'll be joining shortly. Okay, cool. So, yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. This is it's nuts. So, yeah, okay. So that's our funny news of the week, and that kind of went on a little longer than I expected. So, so the big news that's going on today. Yeah. Well, it's all about what's going on with Marvel and not just Marvel, but DC as well. And oh boy, people's heads are on the chopping block. That's for sure. It seems like. And you know what? I'm loving it. This is awesome because it seems like we are winning the war on woke, as it were. Heads are rolling, and and it's awesome. And yeah, all right. So first on the show, we got Janet from another planet.
Hello. Thank you
How's it
for
going,
letting
Janet?
me join you for a little bit.
Yeah. And also we got joining in Super Goji Reviews.
Hello, how you doing?
Not too shabby, dude. And let's see here. John Rendell says that was an epic episode that we had on Saturday. Yeah, you heard from 2 days ago. Oh God, so did I too. Yeah. Yeah, for those of you that need to know, on King Dolphin TV, it was supposed to be about St. Patrick's Day. which quickly turned into talking about corn and corn-related items, and especially a site called Corn Hub.
No, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yes. So it's
no.
oh dear God, it was hilarious. So
Is there
seeing
really
corn-
a site called Corn Hub?
there is really a site called Corn Hub
And
where you
what's on
see
it? Like everything made with corn?
everything made with corn,
I've never heard of it.
slathered with butter, and
They have
and
corn
even
whiskey.
and even threesomes of corn where you have three I'm guessing cooked pieces of corn, boiled pieces of corn, just in a threesome, and
Oh God,
corn
no.
corn being stripped down, just stripped of their husks, and
Corn cob pipes.
that's right. Yeah. So
Profanity.
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Um. So the news going on today. Oh, this is good because I'm loving this. I'm loving this. What's going on over at Disney? And
The mouse is going
yeah,
bye
well,
bye soon.
this is what's going on. Victoria Alonso reportedly out at Marvel Studios after Disney CEO Bob Iger called into question quality issues at Marvel, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania failed at the box office. So
Wait, what? It did?
oh yeah, it did. It severely tanked. It didn't
That's
even make it worldwide to even produce a profit.
jeez.
Yeah,
Oh man.
and John Riddle also said, yeah, corn in a hot tub.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. What a great
So-
idea. How smart.
Oh, I
they
know. Oh yeah, all kinds of corn stuff with semi-suggestive titles.
Oh, why do I have? I'm trying to get myself on the camera, but I don't know. I hope my camera
So-
doesn't break.
If if you want a good laugh, yeah, Corn Hub.
I'm
I
gonna
haven't
I'm gonna
checked
check it
myself.
out.
Oh
I
yes,
don't think you
need
should. Your
to.
eyes are gonna be burning.
I don't know. So yeah, so she's out, and in a new report claims that Marvel Studios Vice President Victoria Alonso is no longer part of the company. Less than a month after the Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger called into question the quality of the recent Marvel Studio film and TV series, and the most recent film release, Ant-Man, Quantumania collapsed at the box office. Yeah, I mean, even worldwide, this didn't even make over 500 million. It made like something like, what was it, 429 million?
$400 million. It wasn't enough money for them.
Well, yeah, no, apparently not, because usually you have about 200 million to make the movie, right? And then of course promotion,
Marketing, like licensing, like toy
mean,
licensing, whatever.
It wasn't that long ago. A movie making 75 million was a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Well,
I
I
guess
mean-
today, when your money's worth like 25 cents, a dollar, what it used to be, I guess $200 million is not as much money, I guess.
I guess not, especially when you fill everything with CGI.
I wish
right?
I had a penny for all.
God.
Remember that horrible show called She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
See,
fire
and
anybody for that one, did they?
Well, this is kind of what things are leading up to now, because apparently in a shareholders meeting about a little over a month ago, they're going to be slashing something like $4 billion to their online Disney Plus content. That means axing tons of shows. And apparently now I heard that Loki season 2 should be coming out next year instead of this year. And only one Marvel production will be coming out this year on Disney Plus. So they're
Is Moon
axing
Knight
a lot of
ever?
shows.
Well, Moon Knight, has that any information about that? coming back, or is it?
I'm not exactly sure. I heard from one source that it was axed, that there's not going to be a season 2.
But
Aw.
isn't Mandalorian coming out again? That's another Disney show,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They already got 3 episodes out of season 3.
Huh.
And let
Interesting.
me tell you this. That 3rd episode is not good whatsoever.
I'm
Oh,
not
boy.
shocked.
Yeah.
I thought that
Lovely.
the first season was really good, and the second season was okay. I didn't think it was as good as compared to the first season, but I was really hoping that maybe it would get better, but I guess it's not going to.
I don't think so. No.
Lovely Shirt has a really good point.
Yeah. Lovely
how
Sherry
we
says
feel.
Marvel keeps going downhill. I have zero faith in their future films. Yeah.
We're getting the Secret Wars. What is that like all about? Secret Wars. I know it's like an old comic.
Well, yeah, it's like when Skrulls infiltrated basically certain places in the Marvel universe, like say in the Avengers or Fantastic Four, or even government and stuff like that.
Mike,
Yeah, so that's one of the things. So I don't know if that's getting axed or not. So
my
the
question is, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
So the article goes, the Hollywood reporter Boris Kitt and Aaron Crouch report Alonso has exited the company on Friday, but the reasons for the exit are unclear. Oh, I doubt that very much. Alonso joined Marvel Studios back in 2006 as the chief visual effects and post-productions and was a co-producer in 2008's Iron Man. She would go to produce Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America, the First Avenger, before becoming executive producer on the Avengers. In 2021, she had recently been promoted to president of physical and post-production, visual effects, and animation production.
Huh.
So yeah, so she was moving. She's moving on up in the ranks of Marvel Studios.
My question is,
Moving on down.
yeah, move on down, man, technically. What would the Marvel universe be like if it was never purchased by Disney?
Better.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, probably would have been better. So
we need an Avengers movie. We need a Marvel movie produced by Michael Bay. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly right.
I think that if you could get a group of fans that are dabbling in movies or making their own web series or something like that, to get them together and give them a budget to make one episode or one movie, I think it would probably be way better than half the crap that Disney's put out in total.
Yeah.
Here's a funny fun thing to say. I'm stuttering really badly. You remember how Transformers: The Last Night was gonna have like a sequel to it, but it failed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fans are actually producing the 7th. Is this the 7th or the 6th film in the Michael Bay franchise?
I think the 7th.
I think it is the 7th. It's called Rise of Unicron.
Yeah.
All fan made, coming out next year because Paramount failed at making the sequel, and we're gonna get a sequel to it, or maybe the closing of the franchise or whatever.
Mhm.
Ah.
I'd pay to see it because I guarantee it's better than any of the junk they put up.
I don't even think you have to pay to see it. It might be put on YouTube or something.
Well, whatever. I mean, I'm saying I would pay to see it if fans made it, because fans love the characters and they'll treat them with respect. See, that's the difference. You can tell the people making these movies don't care about these characters and don't care about the fans.
No, that's right.
That's why they just make dribble. It's crap.
No, true. And one of the things that I mentioned last week is that why not just hire like the actual comic writers back in the day and write these movies, because they know the lore, they know the canon inside and out. And
they
probably would
created
be way better. Exactly. They created most of this universe. Hire them and you're gonna get like probably,
because they don't want to portray them as heroes and savers of humanity or anything. They want to destroy the heroes. That's
right.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yep.
Like if there's like a hero, for example, I'm trying to think of a hero or someone that had like a golden age because the original cast came back together and like the original writers, directors helped with the film. I'm trying to think of a film. Godzilla Final Wars. All the original cast members, some actors, some screenwriters, all these guys came together and tried to bring back like an old touch of Godzilla. But it failed at the box office and with reviews. But honestly, it's still a good movie because it reminds us of the golden age of Godzilla. Or
Yeah.
that's my example.
Let's see. The article goes on. Alonso's exit comes as Marvel Studios' most recent release, Quantumania, collapsed at the box office. According to the numbers, the film has so far grossed only $205.8 million domestically and $556.8 million internationally, for a global gross of $462.6 million.
My question is it like how many people go see the movie or what? How many people see the movie?
Yeah,
That's why it's like so much money.
It's pretty much, yeah. I mean, how much money is making that people are going to see the movies? Because you need 2 million or 200 million nowadays to make a movie. Another 200 million for distribution and advertising and whatnot, and then another 200 million to basically pay your actors and all your extras and blah 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 blah. So they need to make over 600 million or 600 million just to break even, basically, and they haven't even done that.
Well, see, the thing is, has anybody done any research to see how much it costs to make indie films, independent movies, and which independent movies that have been made, or even fan films or shorts and web series on the internet, to see what the prices were for them to make it compared to how much money they brought in, like an ad revenue or whatever, if they made any money off of it. But I just think that $200 million is just way over budget. And that's part of the problem. I mean, if you look back at the movie The Thing, they use garbage bags and a stencil basically to make the opening scene where you see the letters melting away and you see the light coming through the darkness.
That's right.
Back when prop people and movie makers used actual movie magic with props and their imagination to bring things to life, and they put that into the characters, things like that. You don't even see that now. When you read the comic book, it wasn't perfection. It was cartoonish, but we loved it. It made us use our imaginations, and they've taken all that out now. It's not. They've put so much realism in everything. That's one reason why, I'll say this. I loved Shazam when the movie Shazam came out.
Yeah, I did too.
I loved the fact that it took me back to when I was younger reading the comic book, basically of the cartoonish part of it, of him being a grown up and acting like a kid, but being believable. Things like that, if they put that aspect back in to take us back to what we felt like when we read the comic book, that's when people get excited about it, because it takes you back to someplace else. And that's what the whole thing should be. It's escapism, to take you somewhere that you want to go. Like when you're reading a book, you're immersed in the story and you're surrounded by the sounds of the jungle or wherever it is that you're going. And that seems to be gone now. I mean, it's just, it's like they don't care. All they want is some money, but they'd make more of this if they made more of us want to go see it more than once, and buy snacks or whatever, so that the movie theaters can actually make money off of it. So I don't know. I wish they'd bring the heart back. You know what I mean? Put the heart back into the show to make us, the ones who loved it, grew up loving it, put us back in that aspect of what we felt like when we read the comic book.
Well, that's right, because the whole point of going to a movie, and even a superhero movie, any movie whatsoever, it's to get away from the drudgery of reality.
It's supposed to put the fantasy of the mind, putting you into
escapism.
Character.
It's a mini vacation away from your problems.
That's right.
2 hours of enjoyment.
And hey, Pop Culture Republic.
Hello.
I remember
going,
this
dude?
one.
Hello, everyone.
He was in the upcoming movies rants we did, I think. Yeah, he
So-
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the whole point in going to the movies, just getting away from it all and just having, mindless 2-hour fun of just like, oh, I can't believe they did that. Oh, did you see this? Oh my god,
Oh
when
my
the
God, did you see the part where this
train or
guy
the plane or the car went
danced?
whoosh or whatever. That's the whole point.
I mean,
I don't
think
wanna
about
see
how you
Bill
felt the
Dick.
first time you saw John Wick.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, take the counter. Next time you go, let's take a counter and we'll count. Click, click, click. How many people, get
Yeah.
taken out in each scene? Things like that. It made it fun, but it made people want to go see it more than once.
That's
Back
right.
when we used to be younger, and loved movies, we went to see the movie more than one time. We actually was worth our money to save from our allowance to go see a movie twice or even more than that with our friends because it was an enjoyment. It was an entertainment. Today it's like, you leave and you're just like, I wish I hadn't spent my money on it.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
me.
Right.
Yeah. Those of
like
us, those of
Oh,
us
sorry.
old enough to remember Star Wars when it first came to the theater in 1977
Mhm.
or 76. People
Those are good
sitting in
movies.
line for that, and then decades later, there was the prequel trilogy that rolled out, and everybody had high expectations of that. So there were people camping out in front of the theater just to get tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
You know, yeah,
I
there's
mean, I
that
remember-
expectation.
I mean, remember when Independence Day came out like in '95? You know how many times I went to go see that movie, even though, by today's standards, it's kind of cheesy. I think I saw that movie like 10 times.
Mhm.
10 times. Just
For
because,
me,
crap was blowing up everywhere. Like, I didn't care. It was aliens and jet fighter planes that had no hope whatsoever of like defeating these alien bad guys, right? It was
I
just
felt
pure
like that when I went and
fun.
saw Men in Black the first time.
Yeah.
Man in
I went
Black
and
is a
saw it
good
3
series,
times
too.
at the movie theater because it was so good. It was entertainment. Okay. And that's what people want. I mean, even South Park, the movie, I went to see more than once. But what I'm saying is I went because I wanted to sit in a comfortable seat, have a huge, ginormous screen with loud, loud music, and just be immersed into a wonderful show that made me laugh or entertained me. And Disney is not doing that. I just
No.
don't see that. I don't
No.
want to. I don't even, when it comes, they go, oh, yeah, I'm not going to worry. I didn't even want to go see Ant-Man.
No, I did
I
not.
still haven't seen
but they
Ant-Man.
did that, not me. It wasn't me because I
No.
didn't want to see it. They made it so I didn't want to see their movie.
Yep.
For
the article
me,
goes on. Now, the article goes on. Not only does Alonso's actually come amid one of the worst performing Marvel Cinematic Universe's films to date, both at the box office with audiences, but it also comes amid the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger's calling into question the quality of Marvel's films and TV series. No, do you think? So Iger spoke at a recent Morgan Stanley conference where he said, "We have to look at Marvel is not necessarily the volume of Marvel storytelling, but how many times we can go back to the well on certain characters."
this guy sounds like Iron Man
Wow.
for some reason.
Yeah, not necessarily the volume of Marvel storytelling. It's everything about your storytelling.
A good
Oh my
story
God.
A good story needs good characters, good music, good plot.
Exactly.
Like for my example, I think Godzilla vs. Kong is a really good movie. The plot is good. It jumps to like Kong's side of the story and then Godzilla's side of the story. There's Team Kong and Team Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know how the plot will go. They fight, problems, all this stuff. The music, the action, the lighting, the effects, everything is good about it. Because I think maybe these movies aren't, for example, they haven't baked long enough. They're too underdone. They need more time to bake.
Yep. Disney Sheepherder says prequels were not that bad, but they looked better, especially if compared to the Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or Star
Yeah.
Was. Star Was.
Star Was.
Yeah.
Star once.
Honestly, Star Wars is just like a
Honestly.
cow. You're milking that thing until it's dry. You're milking the franchise till it's dry.
Oh, and it's pretty dry
Yeah.
right now. Or it's getting that
There are
way.
too many missed opportunities in Star Wars that they didn't capitalize on. Everyone
Yep.
was wanting to see Luke, Han, and Leia all on screen, all at once, and that didn't happen.
Nope.
Yeah,
Did
pretty
not.
much Han Solo gets ganked. Leia, I don't even know what happened to her. Luke is, I don't know. I haven't seen Star Wars in years.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to. So
No, you
I
don't.
watched Mandalorian season 1, and then maybe I've seen 2. That's all I watched for Star Wars. That's it. I'm that. I don't know.
So he continues, sequels typically work well for us, but do you need a third or a fourth, for instance, or is it time to turn to other characters? There's nothing in any way inherently off in terms of the Marvel brand. I think we have to look at what characters and stories we are mining. And if you look at the trajectory of Marvel over the next 5 years, you'll see a lot of newness. Oh boy. Yeah, I bet.
Oh, no.
Iger added, now we're going to turn back to the Avengers franchise, but with a whole set of different Avengers, as an example.
That's okay. Bringing back like a team, for example, but like half the characters, Hawkeye is retired, Black Widow is gone, Hulk, I don't know about him, Iron Man's gone, Captain America's old. What are they gonna do? Just have gravestones walking around?
Oh, they're going to bring in replacement characters that no one can relate to or have any interest in, and try propping up cardboard cutouts of or replacements of their previous characters.
It's like Transformers, how Optimus Prime got killed off and then Rodimus took his place.
Well, what they need to do is bring in other characters that weren't as popular in the comic books, but that had their own place, and do origin stories on them, just like they did Wolverine from the X-Men, and then start them out as their own origin, and then bring them the team together to start over again. But they got to have entertaining characters and villains for each of the characters to make it worth anyone's while to want to pay for a ticket to go see it.
See, and the other thing is replacing them with, how should I put it? Because everybody's obviously calling this the MCU at this point. Like, and everybody sees it and knows it. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against women superheroes or heroines or anything like that. I mean, let's look at Sarah Connor. Let's look at Ripley. Let's look at lots of others. All right. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make now these, for all intents and purposes, these heroes, these women superheroes, to basically be men, but essentially in a female body. Like act like men.
But they're not even letting them be females anymore. They're making their costumes drab and shapeless. They're taking the woman out of the hero. So I'd much rather see, Wonder Woman in the costume she wore on TV. I want to see my Wonder Woman beautiful, but I also want to see her powerful and smart. I mean, that's the problem, is there was superhero women years ago, back when my mother was young. Okay. So they didn't have to all of a sudden pretend that and make them give them the position of a man, when they had males and females that were heroes working side by side years ago. And they act like all of a sudden it's a brand new thing. Oh, look, it's a woman and she's a superhero. Yay. When they brought out Hunger Games and the actress is spouting how she's the first woman hero and stuff. When Ripley kick her ass, I don't know. I get tired of that. I'm a woman and I'm proud to be a woman, and I'm sick and tired of them cramming women in positions that they're not even supposed to be in. A woman is not Superman. Okay. She's not Superman's character. She's not Iron Man. I mean, that's who I grew up reading in a comic book. That's who I liked. And that's what character I want to read about. I love Wolverine and I love Deadpool. but I don't want to
Yeah.
see dead woman. I want to see Deadpool. I like
Exactly.
them the way they are. I like them anti-heroes. I love them. I think they're great. Their stories are great. Their origins are great. The comic books are good. And I don't know why they have to take it and tear it all up and put a woman, take his penis off and give him a vagina. It's just
No.
stupid.
No,
But-
and you're
but
precisely
we
right.
have
It
to-
drives me crazy because that's not what I
This
want to
is
buy
why-
tickets for.
This is why they do it.
Yeah.
Fan service or something.
I don't know.
Well,
It's not for me. I'm a fan.
the
They're not doing it
official
for
is
me.
yeah, one of the reasons they give is that, oh, we have to update it for a modern audience.
I'm modern.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm not
I'm
dead and
old-fashioned.
buried yet. After I'm
I'm
dead,
just
maybe
here
they-
minding my own business.
I don't know. I
Disney
don't.
cheeseburger.
They're not doing it for the money because they're not making money.
no,
No,
My
they're
exactly.
favorite
losing money.
series is The Midnight Suns. That's my very favorite comic book series ever that I've ever read, and has
Oh, yeah.
Hellstrom, Ghost Rider, all these
Yep.
different characters in it. But I don't want these people to touch it. I would love to see this as a series of movies or a TV series or something with good characters in it, with good stories that are right in
Yeah.
the comic book already. And I don't want these people to touch it. I would rather just dream about what it could be like instead of
Mhm.
seeing these people ruin it.
Yeah.
So
And Disney
It's like
cheeseburger
adding.
who owns. That's as good as it gets. Yeah, it was. It was. John Reynolds says, "I want to see Wonder Woman out of that costume." Oh my god! Everybody else does. So, Disney cheeseburger. Jennifer Lawrence is Ripley. Didn't you know that? So,
not my Ripley.
Jennifer Lawrence mostly comes out
Yeah.
as Disney mostly.
I honestly think like pumping out sequel after sequel, adding new characters that are basically just like cardboard cutouts of like another character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for example, I heard like Iron Man, like Iron Man's wife, Pepper Potts, I think that's her name, or her,
Yeah.
or like Tony Stark's kid. Like you can't. Okay, sure, make them into Iron Women, or make them. I don't want to say it. I don't know what to say. But like all it is just a cardboard cutout. They're just putting a cardboard cutout of Iron Man in front of their face, saying "I'm Iron Woman" or
They
"I'm
really
Iron Man."
haven't spent. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. What I was thinking about this last night on my live stream and trying to make the point that they really haven't spent the time to grow any new characters that people can get invested in them. We've had
Right.
10 years to get invested in Tony Stark, Captain America, Thor.
Yep.
We grew
Oh,
into
he
those
did.
characters. They grew into their own. The audience kind of got used to them, developed a viewing relationship with them, and now they're all dead. And we're supposed to accept all these
Thor's dead?
newcomers who have no weight to them, who haven't been grown, who haven't been, I don't know, introduced properly or grown. The audience has nothing invested here. There's
Yeah, it's like
nothing
they're
to
just-
draw.
That's right. They're just thrown in there. Oh, we
Mhm.
got this other character that's just like the old character. Here you go. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
No.
Because they look at us fans that actually read the comic books growing up, reading the comic books and loving them as just little peons that don't know what we like, that we're dumb. We don't know what
pretty
we
much.
just read comic books. How smart can they be? Okay.
That's right.
But the thing
Fans
is, the
have an impact.
comic books that I read weren't really for small children. These were more adult comic books. Wolverine is not a comic book for little kids. I mean, it's got him and Mystique
No.
having a fling, and he slept with lots of women. And I was really upset when they put Hugh Jackman in, and I said, what?
Really?
Wolverine's
He's
not
too
tall.
tall.
He's a short, stocky, hairy guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is, hey, bub, all the time and stuff like that. I was upset. But once I saw him in the movie and I saw how he tried very hard to portray the character, he kind of grew on me. I mean, I could really be happy if I could get me a real character that can act, that looks more like my characters from the comic books. That's, to me, is important. But I took what I could get, and I ended up liking it. I thought he did a really good job.
Mhm.
But you know, I gave them the benefit of the doubt to try to win me over, and they seemed like they cared enough about the characters themselves, the actors, to portray the actors or as the character. And you know, and they won me over. But I don't see why they don't try that again. You know, it can't be that hard to sit down and write a story right when you have a comic book right in front of you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's not hard. It just doesn't fit their check boxes
narrative.
they have to check off. They have to have
well, then
so many
that's where they're
gender
losing money.
changes. Yeah, they're losing
They're
money,
going
and
to
they
keep
don't seem
losing
to
money
care.
until they listen to the fans and
Oh,
say,
yeah.
we just take the comic books, sit down with the writers, and
Exactly.
make a movie out of it.
Yep.
that I just don't see how that's so hard.
No, exactly.
It shouldn't be. You're exactly right.
No, that's right. And so going on, it says Iger then briefly discussed Star Wars before pointing to the quality of the films and TV shows being produced under Disney's big brands. He said, you know, there's so much consumer choice right now, and when it comes back to what is differentiated, that's one of the obvious, that's one thing obviously we have talked about is those brands. Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney and Pixar, for instance, but the quality is also a differentiator. I think HBO proved that, well, you know, and their Holocron days when high quality programming made a big difference and not volume, he added. And because the streaming platforms require so much volume, one has to question whether that's the right direction to go or if it can be more curated. I used the word judicious a few times, but I guess more picky about what you're making and to concentrate on quality and not volume. You think so? You think maybe quality might be important?
Quality is good for a product or a movie. Personally, I think like quality is like one of these movies that have like the original actors, like original storytelling, all that. Like a Jurassic World Dominion, they brought back the original the original 3 cast members because a lot of them were dead, because they were killed by the dinosaurs, and like a lot of love was put into the movie, like references and whatnot. But sometimes a movie that has like too much of that is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
To some eyes, but sometimes it's not. It's actually really good.
Disney Sheepherder says they continue to make these movies for the normies and lose sight of us geeks. We are the ones spending the money, most of the merch. I understand they want all the people involved, but they risk it all. And then John Reynolds says it's all about hammering the long nail that is the message into everyone's head, no matter how much money is lost. Yep, that's true. And this is what kind of leads on into what's happening over in the Star Wars camp.
Oh, what's this?
Star Wars next movie suffers major setback. Oh my.
Oh no. Say it isn't so.
No.
I called it. I'm gonna call it.
But
how is that
I really want to see
possible?
another movie with Rey Palpatine in it. I mean Skywalker.
That's right.
I have not seen Star Wars in like years. What are we talking about?
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Oops.
She's
Sorry.
I don't care at this point. I had Endgame spoiled for me from the start. I'm fine.
So, Lucasfilm ran into some major setbacks with its next theatrical release in the Star Wars universe. Really?
Good.
This was so unexpected.
Oh, I can't imagine why. Because The Mandalorian has just been tanking so far. So,
leave it in the oven for a little bit longer, and then boom, you have a good show or movie. Leave it in the oven for more.
Fans haven't seen a Star Wars movie on the big screen since 2019's Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Thank God.
And we haven't wanted one.
That's right. As Lucasfilm attempts to move into a new adventure outside of the Skywalker saga. Well, it ended with the Palpatine saga, so
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. Those efforts haven't
Wrinkly
been
boy.
easy. However, as an already planned Star Wars movie set for 2025 has been facing more than its fair share of problems, while multiple new Disney Plus properties have been produced and released in the last few years. And with two other new movies from a galaxy far, far away already facing the axe with no signs of improvement on the horizon, with the new 2025 outline. Sorry, my eyes are wigging out on me. Outing is facing a whole new set of issues with its production crew. Yeah, so they're losing their head writers. Oh no, really? I can't
I have an
imagine
idea
why.
for a really good.
That's
I have a good
shame.
idea for a really good Star Wars movie. We should have a Chewbacca origin story. I don't know why.
He was born and then he was. So there you go. Problem solved right there.
There's like an emotional background, and then boom, Han Solo shows up.
Yep. So Above the Line revealed that both Damon Lindhoff and Justin Brett Gibson have left their upcoming Star Wars movies, which both of them were initially set to write ahead of the film's 2025 release. The pair reportedly gave a draft of the film to Disney and Lucasfilm in mid-February, but left the project only days after it happened. It appears that Lucasfilm already has a new writer planned for this mystery movie, although the name hasn't been revealed yet. The new story, which will be directed by Miss Marvel's Charmine. Oh God, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. But basically, the one that directed Miss Marvel is currently slated to start production in February 2024, ahead of its December 19, 2025 release. Above the Lines, Jeff Snyder also clarified further on Twitter that expanding on the Miss Marvel director. I'm so bad.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be great.
Is still in line to direct the film.
It's going to be bringing people back to the theater in droves.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in reality,
disappoint those droves of people.
Well, yeah. So they've everybody is getting the axe over at Disney, and
because that mouse is doing it, we have to make sure that mouse gets in that trap. Oh wait, it already is this year or next year.
Well, yeah, because they have lost billions and billions of dollars, and so they're like, maybe what we're writing and producing is not exactly working.
Maybe Disney is going to face a bankruptcy sooner or later.
One thing I don't understand is, isn't it a public stock?
Yes.
Okay, so if I was a stockholder and I owned a major stock, in it, even if I wasn't on the board, I would get with some of the other people that you'd probably pretty much most of them know the name of the other people, some of them, the ones that have big investments in it, and say, I'm sick and tired of Disney wasting all my money. I mean, I'm not seeing the return that they promised, blah, blah, blah. Yep. And just say, hey, we need to go have a stockholders meeting and tell them, what's going on? Why are we constantly losing so much money? And why can't you get a group together to actually make good movies, or something? I don't see how these people can invest all this money in the stock market and not expect any kind of return on what
bring back
money in it.
The director. Will George Lucas direct? I don't know, but we should have him direct a new Star Wars movie or something.
I mean, I just don't understand why more of the people whose money is at stake in Disney isn't complaining to demand them to do something different after this long a time of losing. I don't see how.
Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing.
Maybe. I mean, I'm just saying it's taken a long time for the people that are fitting the bill to pay to get all these movies made and stuff isn't complaining, saying, I'm giving you money thinking you're going to come out with something, but everything you've come out with has been crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they lose enough money,
I had money. How do they make more money if they keep investing in something that's always losing?
They'll
I thought
probably
they
use
were
it as a
smarter.
tax write-off somewhere.
Well,
Maybe.
precisely
I
because
mean, I don't know.
I mean, last year I think they lost like over $90 billion, something like that.
believe
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
actually, there
It
we
just
go.
seems like they've
Disney
lost way
ship-
more than that.
Yeah, Disney Shipbuilder. Yeah, Disney lost $152 billion in 2022.
I just noticed his profile pictures that one guy from RoboCop.
Yes.
Yep.
That I mean,
It
yeah,
looks like the guy from
how much-
that 70s show. Was
How
that
much
It
did they
is.
spend
Same
on
guy.
the franchise when they bought it from Lucas?
Yep.
That was what, 4 billion?
Mhm.
Yeah, a
5
little over
billion.
4 billion. Yep.
Another thing too, if you were to go and buy something from someone, a collectible, right?
Yeah.
You find something you've been wanting, oh man, this is so cool. I can't believe I'm getting it. And you pay for it and you think you got a really good deal on it. You take good care of it. You keep it dusted and everything. And then 10 years goes by, right? And, you see something else you really want and you just don't have enough money, but someone else sees what you have on your shelf and they're like, oh my God, I've always wanted one of these. Would you sell it to me? And then you say, well, and then they offer you 3 times what you paid for it. And you're like, oh man, that's a good chunk of money. And I can use that money to buy this other thing that you want, right? Because it should go up in value over time, right? Any
Right.
good collectible should go up in value, not go down. So they have Disney bought Star Wars, and instead of making it get bigger, where later on they could sell it for 5 times what they paid for it, it's gone down in value. They're not even going to be able to give it away at a yard sale
That's
at the
right.
way that they've treated this product, right? Because that's what they should be looking at it. It's a product, okay, that they're tearing to shreds and ruining and stomping it in the dirt where no one is going to touch it with a 10-foot pole because it's scarred. It's being so scarred and tattered up. Who in the future was going to want to pay billions and billions of dollars for something that is worthless? It's basically
Trash.
you can't get anyone to want to go to see any of the movies or even buy a t-shirt. The only thing that's even keeping them afloat, I think, is the baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I see baby Yoda everywhere, but I don't see the Mandalorian t-shirts. I don't see people, you know what I'm saying?
It's like that one character everyone's they're catering to.
Hey, Stephen Ransom, how are you, my friend?
Hello.
Hello.
Janet.
Hello.
And let's see, I could barely see. I got too small on the screen. Reviewers, Pop, how you doing?
Hey there.
Pleasure to meet you all. Janet, seen you around the campfires before. This is the angle to attack this entire subject, is this money angle. I mean,
Yes, exactly.
how many procedural investigation shows have we watched in the last 25 years that just follow the money, keep following the money? That's the way to find out what the heck is really going on here. Because
that's right.
Money just corrupts. It's just impossible to get around it. It's like, hey, it's only business, but that's it's not only business.
But business means you make money.
That's right.
Well,
everybody
business is when you put a product on the market.
Nobody's making money in the circle.
That's right.
We've experienced in the last 15 years this debt as profit nonsense. So maybe they are, in a way.
Yeah.
That negative balances on some of these accounts may actually be profitable if you've got a whole bunch of money that you do have and you're trying to find some way to kind of launder it.
Disney Shipburger says
that means
Disney
it's like a
2.4
scam then, right?
subscribers.
It's a money scam.
Yeah.
Like some of these ones that have got pyramids, it's like a pyramid scheme and only the people at the top are actually making the money.
Yep.
So maybe the people at their bottom are finally saying, what the are you doing with our money?
Right. It's like, for example,
so we're not seeing it because we're just peons out here. But the people involved in Disney are the people are rising up saying, hey, we're taking our money out. If you don't do something different, if you don't change some things and we see a product that's worth something, we're not giving you anymore. So maybe something like that's what's the reason why you see the bucket's being kicked down the road.
Disney Shipburger says Disney also lost 2.4 million subscribers in 2022 based on all losses. If I was a stockholder, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to do
There are a
all
lot
this.
of people
I'm
are
just
starting
here.
to vote with. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
What's
sorry.
up, Keith?
It's my fault.
Yeah. Oh,
What I was
was
going
that
to say was,
Oh.
oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. You go first. When you say you're done, I go. I'm sorry.
okay? Yeah, as I was going to say, a lot of people, a lot of fans are quite literally voting with their wallets and just
Yep.
cutting them off. It's
Yep.
not that they are not offering anything; they don't have anything we want to watch, anything that engages the audience. So they're losing fans left, right, and center.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah,
And
hemorrhaging money.
deservingly.
It's
They
like,
should
hey
be.
guys, this working. We're putting out stuff that we think the fans want. But it's Star Wars, it's Marvel. How come they don't like it? We don't understand. Well, let's see. You're race swapping, you're gender swapping, you're
yes,
pushing certain agendas that nobody wants to see or has no bearing on the story whatsoever. I don't need to be reminded, like, say, I don't know, every 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Oh, by the way, did you know that I'm trans or did you know that I'm gay? It's like, what does that have to do with defeating a supervillain or something like that?
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Back to your station. Stop
Yeah.
distracting the captain. Go
Mr.
back to your
Crusader.
station, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
Mr.
God.
Crusader.
and then a movie
All I'm gonna say
fails,
is
they blame
that's
the
the reason
fan.
why people do that. It's like it's to go with the flow of like culture and whatever. But back to like the budgets and all that. Like for example, figure line like Earthrise had good figures that they pumped the money into to make them good. We put money towards them and we get good figures. But then people discovered, for example, Earthrise RC or Earthrise Double Dealer, how garbage they were and how like where's their money going to? Into a good plastic figurine or a garbage piece of trash that you'll find at a Dollar General dumpster.
Mhm. Yep. You get what you pay for.
I will spend $160 on a masterpiece than the masterpiece that is, or like for never mind, hold on, let me rethink. I would spend more money on this figure by a different company of the same character to show that this company is not doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like
This is pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much
like
the same thing. Why
when
are we
people say
spending
HasLab
money
Unicron, the kibble all over it.
Mm-hmm.
People say I'm gonna go buy Studio Cell, that third party Unicron.
Mm-hmm.
People will go buy that and show that Hasbro should fix their engineering and less kibble.
And Gap After Dark, how's it going, dude? Nice that
I
you
am
can join in the chat. So,
I am a Transformers nut and a Godzilla nut. You have no idea how much I know. My brain hurts from knowing it.
But the thing is, everyone would be happy if they come out, if they could just come out with, they made one really good movie at the beginning. Okay. They sold figurines. People were buying t-shirts and costumes at Halloween because they wanted to emulate whatever one that they loved in that movie. Right. And so they made hand over fist. They were selling DVDs. People were going to the theater 2 or 3 times to see the same movie. It was just a huge success. And then their heads got huge and thought, oh my God, we're going to make so much money. So they just started slapping stuff together, pulling people left and right, and they thinned out everything to do
Like
so
with
much.
Star Trek, how they just slapped on
That's what I'm
everything
talking about.
Star Trek.
Everything. That's the problem. Instead of looking at each one as an individual product, they put it all down at, oh, it's a series, you see? And then they slather on a few coats of paint and think we, as the customer, are going to just lap up whatever they throw out on the dog plate, you see?
Yep.
But we're not. We're not
No.
doing it. And finally, the numbers are starting to catch up with it, with the people that are investing, and they're realizing, hey, we're not going to keep investing in this. You guys are making crap, and the people aren't going to buy it. So we're going to start pulling our money out if you guys can't start making some decent product that people actually want, coming all the way down to the figurines, t-shirts and cups and whatever else it is people want to buy. But people will, people are lining up to want to spend their money on a good Star Wars movie or a good Marvel movie, but they're not getting anything for their money. So they're turning around and finding other things to do and where to spend their money on something else, which is not going to be theirs.
That's right. I want to drive a nice car. I don't want to end up getting a Ford Pinto.
Yeah.
God.
Right. And I don't want to spend the money on a really nice car and wind up with a Ford Pinto anyway. That too.
Yeah,
exactly.
see, that's what they're getting. You're paying for a limousine, and when they pull up to pick you up, they're in a Prius.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what you're getting. That's what they're doing to us. So we're going and going someplace else.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're
I
finally
think
seeing
that
it.
now, just call me devil's advocate on this, because I like to play this game intellectually, because I think it's a very important exercise for all of us to do, because
Yes.
it seems really obvious on the surface. And when anything seems really obvious on the surface, you should flinch and reassess your premises. Otherwise, you're a bad engineer, right? Like, take 2 steps back and just go, how could they be offering this? I mean, consistently, like all the things that you're saying, Janet, like right on the mark. It's like, how does this make sense to anyone? And if it does make sense to everyone and they keep doing it, then they're obviously doing something else. So how do I squeeze this and find out by displacement what they're actually doing here? And I think that it's the globalization that's a key part to look at. It's the reason why we're seeing poor manufacturing, the reason why we're seeing latencies in delivery of product, the reason why we're seeing weirdness in the press is because they're trying to get the framework of their logistics globally set up. And to do that, they may see like a 25-year loss plan. Like, it might be on the books, in the budget, to do 25 years of loss so that they could finally degrade the Western market, upgrade the Eastern market, and the North and the South, so that everybody's on the same playing field, so that when they do pull the trigger on international licensing, not only can everybody afford it, but it's actually affordable for everybody. So that India can start making Transformers toys without having to ask Harmony Gold if it's okay with their Robotech IP. It's like, I mean, there's a mess in copywriting that's really the villain in all of this.
Yeah,
exactly. It took for mine, my SH Monster starts 2021. It took 6 months for that thing to show up, and like, it took so long for me to get it. And like the other ones I have, they took a few days to show up. He took 6 months. I don't know why, because like everything was okay, everything looked fine, but no, delay after delay, it would not come to the States. And I have it now, so that's a good thing.
See, it's pretty bad that nowadays, like lately on Netflix, I'm subscribed to Netflix.
I just watched stuff with Miller Brothers.
I have been watching like quite a lot of Korean shows because there's nothing really in North America worth watching.
Exactly.
And it's pretty like the United States was the global leader when it came to making movies, making TV shows, and
toys.
Like, it was a nonstop juggernaut. Now I'm finding myself watching Korean shows that are actually way better than anything produced in North America.
Yep.
This is how, like, and I'm not going to say this is how bad it's gotten, but this is how bad it's gotten.
No, that's
if you
exactly
could call
it.
it that.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, go ahead, PCR. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I've actually been introduced to a lot of K-dramas through Netflix. Currently on my 3rd K-drama after one called Vincenzo, one called Attorney Woo. Now I'm on one called Mr. Queen.
Yeah.
And I heard about another one too, a Japanese series that just came out recently that I was on Wakazashi's channel. He was talking about it a bit at the end of the show, that it's a Japanese show. I forget now what exactly the premise was, but I trust Gray enough that that if he recommends something, he said like, oh, you should really check it out, Steven. I'm going to check it out, or I'm at least going to hype it and suggest that other people check it out. But that's, again, I want to mention, without Netflix and an international marketplace, would we have even have known that these shows existed
No,
at all?
exactly. Exactly.
So who's the bad guy here? It's really
Yeah.
hard. It's gray. It's a very thin gray veil.
It is.
For
Disney
exa-
Sheepherder says buy stock in South Korean movies and shows. Those folks can make some cinema. They can. Yeah, it
Them
started
and
with Train to
Bollywood.
Busan in 2016.
We're
and they've been on a roll. That's right. That's right.
we're
Because
getting
there was another
Sorry.
one called what was it? Space Sweepers, I believe it was. It was like a futuristic movie. These guys basically like they're garbage scourers or
I've
they're
seen that one.
guys.
Yep.
That is a pretty
Yeah.
damn good movie. It was really good. And then, of course, like everybody's heard of Squid Game. I don't know if everybody has
Yep.
seen
Yeah, I
that. but
loved it. I thought
That
it was
was
very good.
good
Very
with
well
the-
made.
Yeah, with a season 2 on the way. And
Yeah, it should be coming out pretty soon. But what I was going to say earlier is since this whole gap, this gap in our entertainment loss, and we've searched other places to find good shows to watch, and now we like them, we enjoy them, and they're giving us what we need, it's going to be harder for us to turn the channel and go back and be sucked back in to a show that they pushed us away and pushed us away and pushed us away that we were like, you see?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
We've
I
lost
don't
money
go
for
back at
that.
all.
And
Yeah.
they're not going to get us back that easy. They're going to have to really throw some good stuff in our way before we're going to start pulling on that rope back to them. So
That's right.
these other groups that have put these movies out in TV series have been, I've been surprised how good it's been. I've really enjoyed the entertainment. It's been very good. It's been top quality, even though it took me a little bit to get used to it. But once I got in there and realized the talent that was there, I love it. I think it's great. And I'm happy for some reason in the back of my mind that I got to see something totally different that I never would have probably ever turned the channel to watch if I hadn't been put in the position to go somewhere else.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Because
let me
eventually,
offer-
Balancing out, just like you said.
Remember
Mike.
Toy Story 2 when Andy he had Woody had this dream and Andy was playing with him, but it's like notices he's ripped or something like that. It's like, you're broken. I don't want to
I don't want to play with you
Dump him in the
anymore.
garbage.
Balls.
And this is exactly what's going to happen in the movie industry here in North America. They're going to
Yes.
try to entice you back. Come play with us again. Nope, sorry, I'm done with you.
That's the
it's-
one thing
it's-
about this
it's over.
Picard season 3 that pisses me off the most. It's
Yeah.
it's nothing more than, I don't know, somebody just waxed the car, or she bought a new dress and expects you to get back together again, or whatever the hell the deal is. It's like, it's so petty. It's just so cheap. And it's dividing the fans just to show you how mad we are at the same time. But
Mhm.
to get back to the whole Squid Game thing, there's a parallel.
Yep.
We saw Western manufacturing in electronics do the same thing during the 80s. And Japan and Germany, former
Yep.
enemies, by the way, turned out better products than in the United States. So the United States investors
right.
just invested in them and just dropped American production altogether.
Mhm.
So there's a parallel there. And just prepare yourselves. Hollywood may just move to Korea.
Bollywood. Now we have Bollywood people.
Yeah,
too.
like
It's
RRR.
rising up. I mean, I'm
That's
seeing
right.
more and more and more TV shows, soap operas. All
Yep.
types of entertainment that's coming from Bollywood. So
Here's some
but
like
Hollywood did it to themselves. It wasn't the fans that forced Hollywood to push this directive on us. It was our pocketbooks that decided to go somewhere else and spend our money for entertainment. Because when we leave our jobs and we're tired and we just want to relax and have fun with our families, we want to be entertained. We're tired of agendas being crammed down our throat. And now we're finally, I think, going to start seeing a shift because we've made our voices loud enough that we're starting to see a little bit of a change. Now, whether it sticks, I don't know, but I hope that they learned and realized that, hey, we're finding good entertainment someplace else. We don't need you anymore.
Hollywood is also huge. I mean, I didn't know this at the time until I read up a little bit on Bollywood and how much larger they are than Hollywood.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
You're right.
involved in government.
Yeah.
They've been for a while. We just didn't know it.
Yeah.
They're being exposed to how far out their tentacles reach.
Yeah, well, surprise, surprise, Hollywood joined the federal machine back in the 50s. So
Oh, yeah.
you may not think that Hollywood was attached to the government, but they are and have been for quite some
Yeah.
time now, I think. So
Mhm.
the 60s was a manufactured event, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Here's here's a little thing I had to come up with. Here's an American, I'm gonna call it Americans, Playmates Mechagodzilla, how cheaply made it is and like how fragile and just crap. Here's a Japanese Gigan, like from Bandai, Playmates and Bandai, and you can see like priorities are different in Japan than United States.
Mhm.
See, the thing is, I'm thinking also what's going on is that in our, I'm just gonna say in North America, because I know, you know, some of you guys are in the States and other listeners up here in Canada and whatnot. So I'm gonna say North America. In our, let's put it, decadence, you know, at the height, let's say during the 80s and 90s, we've gotten lazy, right? And full of ourselves, while let's say the Asian market still believes in quality and to do your best no matter what, and don't take for granted everything else that we've done. Still try to do your best. Where here it's like, you know what? We're doing good no matter what we do, right? Hey, hey, right? So, you know, it doesn't matter what we produce, it's going to be good no matter what, huh? So,
Yeah.
but no, it's caught up. It's caught up. And like Super Goji kind of says, like, here's one from North America, here's another one from Asia. Oh boy, this one's crap, this one ain't. And this is also what we're seeing in the entertainment industry as well. They've gotten so full of themselves that they think they can do no wrong. And in their warped hubris, they're producing nothing but crap, and they think it's just, oh, this is phenomenal. This is the best ever. I mean, look at the Oscars, right? It's just nothing but token awards based on essentially like ethnicities. And
Yeah.
because, oh, I won this award because I'm an Asian woman or a black woman. It's
It was so sad to see her say that, man, because she knows that's not true. It's that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know, this may be the reason why RRR didn't even bother, because it would have been negative press if they did win.
Yeah.
Because it would have been like, oh, you're just receiving a token award. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to go to your token award ceremony. It's a shame that she had to say what she said to the press, because the press requires it for her to say. She knows that's not true. She was there for Crouching Tiger. They won awards like 10 years ago, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
That was a good
glass
movie.
ceiling.
Yeah.
And that was,
I loved Crouching Tiger.
Yeah,
I thought it was so good. And that's what's sad, is that they don't win on merit anymore. They don't win because they did a good story. And
well, that's the shame of it, because Everything Everywhere All at Once actually did win on merit. It was a genuine award. That show deserved it, and yet because of the taint in the press, everybody just looks at it and goes, "Oh, it's a token award." No, it's actually a really good picture. You should go check that shit out.
It was an awesome movie.
Today, though, if you think about it, when you have just from talking to other people that shop or go to the places to buy a DVD, like they want to get a couple of DVDs and take them home because they're gonna for Thanksgiving or whatever it is for the get-togethers, right? And they'll say on the box it'll say a Academy Award winner or whatever. Used to years ago when I was a little girl, like when my mom bought the movie Victor Victoria that she loved. Okay, she absolutely loved that movie, and it won awards, and she was so proud of it and stuff. But back then, it actually meant something. Today, when they put the stamp on it, it's basically the curse of death. Nobody wants to buy it. You go to Rotten Tomatoes, and if it has a high rating from the people that rate movies, nobody wants to see it. But if it has a high audience score, everyone's like, hey, yeah, the audience likes it, it's gonna be good. But it used to be the other way around. When Siskel and Ebert would say this and that's a good movie, they were usually right. But today, you can't listen to any of these people. I mean, if they say it's good, I'm not going to buy a ticket.
No,
because it suck.
And like Disney Sheepherder says, yeah, Australia can make some movies and TV shows.
That's true.
Also. Glitch TV, Netflix, these final hours,
Like it.
Peacock, they own.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. And John,
Yeah.
Lennon, yeah, Oscar's celebrity ego master.
Masturbation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't. I
You know
don't
what?
even know the last time I watched the
That
outfit.
is so true.
it is.
sad.
It is.
And
And
it's
right
sad
where
we
Stephen
were
the Cat
laughing
lives,
about
man.
it, but we're all hurting because we're not getting good stuff to watch.
No, exactly.
We're the ones that are suffering the most, and we're still laughing about it, which
I
is
know.
pitiful.
It kind of almost is, yeah. Now we're just going to go back to twiddling our thumbs. It's like, talk about the weather.
Now we'll start watching YouTube. That's one of the reasons why I started watching YouTube before I decided to people kept hounding me. Your videos, your shorts are funny. You need to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try. But
Yeah.
I was in the chat for years and years laughing and enjoying the entertainment simply because there wasn't the entertainment on TV at the movie theater. So I started enjoying you guys watching what you put out because I actually believed it and I was entertained by it. That's what changed. So
for me, I started YouTube because I I was enjoying TV and all, but like the content creators, the love and effort they put into their content, the toy reviews, they're entertaining. The figures they review are amazing. I said, hey, why not? I should do that. The gameplay videos, everything. I just adored it. So that's why I started YouTube. And that's like what Janet said. It's more entertaining than what's on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I got into this a couple of years ago when I came across Comicsgate channels because I wanted to know what that was about. And of course, I love comic books. Haven't bought any recently because they suck, but I'll go back 20, 30 years or so and reread all
got
of
a good
them.
comic book series you should truly check out. It's called Godzilla Rulers of Earth. It's a really good series.
Okay. Says the Godzilla weeb.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not a weeb. You're a Star Wars weeb. Shush. Get out. Get out.
Fantastic. Hey, I'd do the same thing, man. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Brother loves, brother hates. So no worries.
Nothing wrong with loving what you love and be proud of it. Be proud to be in it.
I'm gonna admit this. In school, I usually get made fun of because of what I like. I tell them, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing that's big and successful? Huh? What do you do?" And they say nothing. And I said, "I do what I like to do. I collect Godzilla. I collect Transformers because I like the franchises. I like what I do.
Yeah.
I make stop motions. People make fun of it. I say, at least I ain't doing what you're doing, and I'm not going to say what they do. It's kind of gross what they do."
Anyway, Pop, you were saying?
Something productive with your time, at least.
Mm-hmm.
No, as I was going back to what others were saying about enjoying older media, because we can't enjoy anything nowadays. I look to my right and I see all my movies on my movie shelf. I can pull off my physical media for Stargate SG-1, Farscape, Babylon 5, Briscoe County Jr., even Kolchak the Night Stalker. I can pull those off, plop them in my Blu-ray player, and just rewatch old shows that I enjoyed that I don't mind watching for the upteenth time. I've just recently made my way through Babylon 5 again, and before that was Dark Matter. We just keep going back to what was good, and that's kind of sad because we're not getting it today.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
that. Just not from the sources we want.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've
mom
always
that
been
show.
on board with anime, and I've been watching anime in parallel with Western media.
Right.
And I've watched the actual invisible foot race where the West is slowly creeping and falling behind while these other companies are just they appear to be growing, but actually it's somebody obviously gave up, because Japan isn't doing anything different than what they did 30, 40, 50 years ago.
True.
Nothing
That's why
different
Japan,
at all.
that's why a lot of products in Japan, like some like the animes there, like Pokemon, were brought over here and it's so big and successful. Because
we're
like
thirsty.
What he said.
You know, no, you're totally right, Stephen. I mean, it's here. It's become so, the entertainment has become so, how should I put it, industrialized, right?
Yeah.
That it's just churning it out and churning it out. Oh, what are we going to put on this
Formula.
time? Oh, it's just
It's like a stamp, a cookie cutter.
Yeah. Formula.
Exactly.
It's not. There's no character. There's no individual joy in any of it anymore. It's just the same thing over and over and over. You know, they're regurgitating the same story over and over.
Yep.
It's not entertainment anymore.
No, exactly. And while
My
in Asia, in Japan, for example, where where plenty of anime is made, it's still the same as it's meant to be. It's an art.
Mm-hmm.
It's approached
It
in the
is.
sense that it's art, and therefore love and care goes into not just the frames, but the story as well. There was there was a show, there was a movie that that my daughter what was it? She suggested a movie last night, and again it was an anime, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. But right
Sailor
now
Moon.
no, God, no.
That's what I was thinking in my head.
Okay.
Right now,
That's like
the name is
100 years ago, Sailor Moon,
but-
for crying out
but-
loud.
but the premise of the story
Well,
was so
Let me
simple.
tell you this. Well, my friends
And-
love that
and it
show.
was-
I thought I got it.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I can't imagine that Mike is got some new show that none of us know about that she
Well-
does.
Well, the thing was the premise of the whole movie, right? And it was so simple that it filled a whole 2-hour movie. That basically it was like this kid that was in elementary school that was bullying a girl that was deaf, right? And that as he's older, like in high school or something like that, you know what? He realized what he did wrong, and he tries to make up for it. And that's basically the whole premise of the movie. And those two become
People find that entertaining.
friends. Excellent friends, to the point where she actually starts to love him, and vice versa. And it's such a simple story, but it's the message is pure. It's sorry for the train in the background. It's just happens to be where I
You're not the
live.
only one that has to deal with trains.
And but the thing is, it's just something so simple. It's nothing complicated, or it doesn't slam a message in your face.
Right.
And again, it's all about the care that's taken into it because of the approach where it's an art form rather than industrial entertainment of, oh, let's just do a cartoon and everybody just has to talk wildly and loudly and stupid as possible. And and
Oh
it's
my God.
this is why my daughter does not watch any North American cartoons whatsoever. Because a few years ago, I asked her, like, how come you don't watch any cartoons? It's like, oh, they're all stupid. But you'll watch anime. And a lot of it is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And
Gasp, Dad! Anime cannot be compared to cartoons.
yeah, exactly. Wow, I don't even make.
Oh my God. Dramatic camera angles. You can't be
But,
serious.
But and going back, it's the same thing, right? It's these shows that used to be made in Hollywood that were great, and now they're trash. And now you look at the stuff that's being produced in, like Disney Sheepherder said, like in Australia, or now even in Korea, and even in Japan and stuff like that. And it's like way better because care is taken into it, because these people have a love of what they want to do and what they want to show you, right? It's not pounding a 2x4 over your head and say, accept this message or else we're gonna
I
bludgeon
have
you.
done that. That is not a great
But
feeling.
it's here. We have something that we want to share with you. and that's why it succeeds. It's not shoved down your throat and say you have to take it or else, like Disney's been doing, or Star Wars has been doing, or Star Trek has been doing, or something like that. Oh no, we just made your series darker and more grittier, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to love it because we said so. And if you don't,
you know,
Yeah.
edgy is
Sort
cheap,
of
by the way.
edgy
you
is
darken
only for Batman, and that's
No,
about
no.
it.
Edgy
Let me tell
is
you
cheap
this.
because you don't have to paint the whole set. You don't have to CGI the whole set either.
That's
You don't
right.
even have to do the costumes properly. You could have seams hanging out all over the place because
Yep.
it's dark. Ooh,
Yeah.
edgy. We're saving tons of money. It's like filming in black and white. It's so
Oh my God,
sad.
emo movie.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's right. Yeah, and
Well,
now
was
F-bombs on
Was it
Q-Card.
Sin City
Yeah.
that they filmed like that? That was freaking
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
Done
awesome.
right.
Let me
That was
tell you
panel to
this.
panel. Yeah, when it's done right.
Yeah, but
Let me
it was
tell you
good.
this.
I liked it. I mean, I wish
Yeah.
they could just. I don't know. I
It's
don't know what
art.
happened.
turned into
Everything
an
used to
art.
be so good. Pretty much everything was entertainment, and it's like now they don't. That nobody's talented enough to give us entertainment anymore.
Well, like I heard last year, Disney is clamoring. They're desperately seeking out not stop motion animators, but actual animators that can draw again, like old school
My
animation.
thing
I
is,
thought Disney had a school that they taught their own cartoonists and stuff. What
I don't
happened to
know.
all
I
those
guess they
people?
don't have it anymore or something like that. But apparently they're desperately seeking actual paper to pen animators now.
That's not the problem,
My-
and you and I know it, Mike.
No,
That's
I know,
not
I
the
know
problem.
that. I know that.
Because
It's the
once you get a
message.
good animator, they've
Yeah.
also got to toe the line,
Yep.
follow the message,
Yep.
be with their politics, follow the science. It's like you can't be an artist under these conditions.
No,
It's
you
just
can't. You
impossible.
No
Forget about
creativity.
having integrity or
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
sticking to your
creativity.
guns.
Pretty
That's
much.
almost illegal in the creative
This is why
industry.
Comicsgate is exploding, right? Because nobody wants
Yeah.
to read Marvel or DC anymore. This is why all these people are going to Comicsgate, and that's why they're actually making something of themselves because they don't have that burden anymore,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
You know, like was it that Evan Cyberfrog guy?
Ethan
yeah.
Van Sciver.
Mhm.
Yes, Ethan Van Sciver or Artie Bear doing black and white again, or the what's his name, the guy that does She, stuff like that, right?
Bill
This is-
Tucci.
Yes, Bill Tucci, right? Like, dude was awesome back in the 90s, and like he's
Yep.
bringing it right back again. Because there's no overlord looking over you anymore, telling you, oh no, you can't draw that. No, you can't animate this. You have to spread our message because this is what the fans really want.
And,
No,
and
you
so
moron.
You're going to start seeing these people that have been pushed out that
Yeah.
are starting to form their own entities. We're going to start seeing them rise up, and it's going to start all over again, where we're going to have younger people that have been reading Cyberfrog and some of these other comic books, and they're going to say, wow, these are awesome. These are really good. Why didn't they used to make these? You see?
Yep.
Exactly.
Because the first comic book I ever got to read was from my dad. He had a trunk full of comics, and I started looking at them and reading them, and I was like, I want some of these. So he started taking me to comic book shops and letting me pick out a comic.
Cool.
Now, I didn't pick a series, like this. I would just see a really cool, comic book cover, and I was like, I want that one, and then I'd buy it. So I had mixture of all
want that
types
one.
of comics, and I
Nice.
loved it. And
Yeah,
I
that was
still
me
love
for action figures for the longest.
I
Yeah.
think that there's a point of hope in what you're saying there, Mike. This notion that something is being displaced. I mean, there's a reason why Princess Leia's line to Grand Moff Tarkin is such an important point in that movie, where she's, the more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems are going to slip through your fingers.
Yep.
And the same thing is
Yep.
happening with Western creativity.
Yep.
The more they tighten their grip, the less of us are going to be on board with their BS.
That's
And
right.
we're going to create our own ventures. And little
You
point
should
of
have Red
history,
Friday.
that's how the Japanese and the Hindi got their industries rolling. It
That's
was
right.
post-war, it was under repression, and it was by force of arms that they
Yep.
did it. So
We
we're
are
actually
the
going through
rebellion.
what they experienced in the 50s.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Because right now Warner Brothers and Disney and Paramount and Fox, you know what they're like right now? They're like the friggin' rich little kid that's taking daddy's Maserati out, all hepped up on coke and fentanyl and goofballs, and going out for a drive, thinking they can do no wrong until they crash the car. And that's exactly what they're like, right?
Mhm.
Now, I was talking with somebody yesterday, okay? And you know what? And I'm just gonna say this. I got a plan, okay? Because I'm all the way up here in the Texas of Canada, in Alberta, okay?
Yeehaw.
Exactly. And this
Hey,
is
Tim Hortons. Hey,
no, we don't do that.
sorry.
Actually, we really don't
No,
do that.
I hear people do that. I'm in New York, and there's like Tim Hortons everywhere. I love it. My mother loves it too. It's great.
And we don't say a boot either. So I don't know where that came from. That's probably like, Quebec. And nobody really pays attention to that.
What is the A?
So anyway,
A.
so
Canadian A. What is that?
well, the A, I think that's from like Ontario or something like that, Southern Ontario. Anyway, the point is, okay, because here in Alberta, there's been like a big rise of movies that are being filmed here, and even during the pandemic, there was like quite a few films that were filmed here, right? Like that Predator Prey movie that came out that was filmed in the Kananaskis Valley.
Beautiful film.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife that was filmed like
I've never seen it.
some parts that were filmed in this town here, like where I'm at, and same with Last of Us. That was filmed around this area and a couple of towns right beside me, and in Calgary, all over Alberta and whatnot. So things are on the rise here because I mean we got the prairies, we got the woodlands, we got the mountains, and we even have a few desert areas here in Alberta. And this is what I want to do. I don't know how, but this is going to be sounding nuts. Okay, it's going to sound 100% nuts. But you know what? Sometimes crazy works.
Mhm.
And this is my proposal. This is what I want to do. Okay, because I don't think anything happens through coincidence whatsoever. Okay, now you guys may disagree with me. I believe in God, and I don't think anything happens by accident. Okay, because since starting my YouTube channel, I have met writers, I have met producers, I have met people in various industries and whatnot, like smart guys that really know what they're doing, right? Whether it's like say Mike, Mexican Iron Man, he does accounting and stuff like that. Gary Ambrosia, he's done production and he's done like sets in films and stuff like that, right? Other performers and other writers and stuff like that. And this is what I want to do. And like I said, it's going to sound nuts, okay? What I want to do somehow is raise the money and open up our own movie studio. Like Warner Brothers, like Paramount, like Fox, whatever. Doesn't have to be super big, like 900 acres, like what Warner Brothers has, right?
Mhm.
But it's going to be out of Hollywood. It's going to be out of that influence. And it's going to be, and I want this to be for the people, by the people, and producing quality content. The stuff that made it popular, like in the 80s, maybe even 90s. Heck, even going as far back as like the 40s and 50s with like these classic movies that had beautiful stories in them and stuff like
King
that.
Kong.
That's what I want to do. I want to do fun movies. I want to find people that know what they're doing, that aren't cluttered up in their heads of, all this nonsensical bull crap, right? That actually want to make art.
Yeah.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
do. And I would
You are-
love to get together with a bunch of other YouTubers that, you know what? I don't care if they have influence or not or something like that, that want to like get together and develop some sort of plan and raise money to buy some acreage, make movie sets, buildings, and film movies and stuff like that, and do that. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we need to do something because we
Stop
all
motion
talk,
animation
we
films.
we all talk and we all complain about what these guys are doing and how they're destroying pop culture and everything else that we've really enjoyed, right? And I'm a geek and I'm a nerd and I've enjoyed this
Yeah.
for as long as humanly possible. But if they're gonna trash everything, then what lefties often say, well, if you don't like it, then go do your own thing. Okay,
I
fine.
will.
This is why a lot of us have started YouTube channels. Okay, well, fine.
Yep.
If you don't like the TV show or if you don't like the movie, well, then go make your own. Okay, fine. Let's do it.
That's why
Yeah,
people
well,
make
there's a
these
will,
stop
there's a
motion
way.
animation,
Let's
like
do
stop
it.
motions with their figures.
So
They-
you know what? I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna ask everybody in the chat. Okay, let's formulate a plan, and let's I don't know somehow because this is just an idea that I have. But you know what? If somebody knows how this can be done, that we can all get together and start our own stuff, then fine. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Then let's do
I have
our
an
own
idea.
and take on Hollywood itself and put out some banging stories out there that's basically going to slaughter everything else. Let's make our
I
own.
got it.
Let's make our own Star Trek. Let's make our own Gone with the Wind. Let's make our own,
Make our own
Predator
Godzilla.
or Aliens or something like that. Let's do our own stuff.
Transformers animes that have never been like revealed, but they have
let's-
came in Western versions.
Let's
Not anime.
let's take a property from a comic or something like that, like Buck Rogers. No, is it Buck Rogers?
Yeah, I was about to say some
Howard the
lesser
Duck.
known.
I don't know why I have that hit in my
Exactly.
name.
Like
The Duck.
Buck Rogers is pretty much up for grabs almost, right? Like
yeah,
or
John
pretty much
Carter
in
of
the
Mars,
press.
I think, is too.
Yep.
I don't think that's. I don't think that's. Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
loose in the wind
Then-
right now, isn't
Then
it?
let's
Gorgo, that British film.
let's get off our collective asses and come up with a plan and let's do something ourselves. Why
Let's
not?
make a sequels. Let's make our own takes on our own on the movie franchise.
Like I
Yeah.
said, sometimes crazy works.
Yep.
So,
And that's how Hollywood
Unbelievable.
Hollywood was crazy. You watch the movie Bugsy and then follow up and watch a few documentaries on how Las Vegas was formed in the first place. They thought Vegas was crazy too, kids.
Yep.
Every Eiffel Tower, Ferris wheel, okay, the Brooklyn Bridge. These were all thought to be loony birds, okay, until they were executed and survived.
Yep.
So yeah.
yeah.
They wanted to tear down the Eiffel Tower. They thought it was a hideous, monstrous contrivance of the contemporary age. And now
Yep.
it's the centerpiece of Paris. It's like,
Yep.
come on. Everything seems weird when you get started.
Yep, Disney sheepherder. This is an out thing. They hijacked our culture. Screw these clowns.
Yeah.
that's
That's
right.
right.
Yep, this is our thing. Yeah. Oh, did I just?
We should make our own takes on films that we never. We should take like
Yeah.
films that were canceled
Very good.
or like concept films and build upon that.
Yeah,
but
I'd also
that's
like
to
to
get
add-
into risky territory
Yeah.
because of
I'd
ownership.
also like to add no more remakes or reboots because
Yes.
I grabbed
Yeah.
like a handful of physical media here,
there you
and there's at least 3 properties here that have been rebooted.
go. Yep.
Magnum
Predator.
PI has been rebooted.
Yeah.
Equalizer has been rebooted horribly. Max Headroom, as odd and quirky as this show was, there is
Yeah.
a reboot coming out. I don't know when.
Oh, that's what I heard too. God.
Oh yeah, you know what? I hope they get Rage Against the Machine to do the soundtrack. 'Cause that would just be perfect.
It would, wouldn't it?
Kolchak, the Night Stalker, there's
Yep.
a reboot of that.
Oh boy.
Eventually, somebody's going to get around to Doc Savage. Because I
I would
remember about
love
4 or
to-
5 years ago, there was talk of Doc Savage with The Rock attached to it.
Oh God. No.
And
Why him? He's in everything.
exactly. And
Yeah.
he would be horribly miscast for it. But
He's not a
Exactly.
reboot. That's from a video game.
No,
Rampage.
You know what? You know who I
He
think
is-
could
he
handle
is
it? I
a man
think
of
Brad
bronze.
Pitt could handle it. I think Brad Pitt could
Yeah.
actually handle that role, and he's got the international muscle to pull it off as well.
Huh. Interesting.
But
He's
yeah,
got the
I just
grit
wanted to
too.
show
I can
off some of
easily see
these.
him with the grit.
Yeah.
Part of my frustration with reboots because there's zero creativity. I have
Exactly.
to go back to old shows that I loved, or old movies, or even something fairly recent like Dark Matter. I've watched through all 3 seasons of this 4 times over already.
Yeah.
But there's a glut of bad entertainment and a drought of good entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, what you need is to go to some of these websites that are with writers, new writers, or ones that have only produced like shorts or one movie, that's been successful, semi-successful. And that's where you find your new stories. Go in and find some things. You have them shelf something while you're looking into it. Different things like that, because some of these would even shelf something for very little money simply because they want the opportunity to try to see if something of theirs could sell. But there's thousands and thousands of writers, like on Script Revolution. That's one website that's starting to go up, and it's got actors, producers, editors, all types of people that use that website to get content off of, with lots of new writers on there. So that's the problem, is that they don't want new writers. They want to use this old stuff that they already own and just, flash it up so they don't have to pay anybody the money. Because you got to remember, the writer of a screenplay gets their name up in lights just as big as the director's.
Yep.
They don't want to share that when they don't have to. They just rehash what they've already got.
John Reynolds says Trump would make a better Doc Savage than The Rock, for God's sake. Right, I'm gonna tear it all down. I'm gonna friggin' thump you one. None of you are gonna get in my way. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be awesome.
After reading just the first few novels of the Doc Savage series, I really couldn't believe he is legitimately one of the grandfathers of superherodom. I mean,
exactly.
He's the Fortress of Solitude. He's the Man of Bronze. He is, for crying out loud, he's a super scientist. So he's also Reed Richards. It's like, this guy is everything. It's like somebody just took him and tore him up into pieces and handed him out to the entire comic book community. That's it.
The greatest American hero. I wonder what changes would be made today. Or be the greatest American heroine.
Exactly.
Or no, they'd still use hero, but just because you can't use heroin. That's
right.
Feminine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Because heroin is genderfying.
No, the difference would be, it would be the greatest American hero, but it wouldn't be really. It'd be a woman, but it'd be a man that was once a man, but now it's a woman. So it's really a woman.
Exactly.
I can have babies. I can have cervical cancer. I can give birth, all those things. And that's what the whole thing would be about how they're a hero because they're a woman. But, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole genre that would be, which is just total bullshit. It's what it all is. But they want you to buy a ticket because you don't know any better.
But Janet, apparently men can get periods too, don't you know?
Oh, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
There's
nothing with a woman. Anyone can be a woman. Anybody can create life, it's just whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. I've been a woman my whole life, and I don't have any clue what they're trying to teach people. I mean, I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I think
I'm so glad you're honest about it, Janet.
Well, I mean, I want entertainment as bad as anyone else. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I'm not a nerd.
Exactly.
I can't help it. I was a tomboy. I love comics. I love collecting stuff. My office is scary to some people, but I love it because I can look around and see most of the things I love.
Yeah,
I still love it.
That's what makes you. It makes you stand out. Like, you are what you are, and you are perfect the way you are. Like that.
Everyone should be perfect the way they are. Everyone should be proud to be themselves and like what they like, and not worry about what anybody else thinks.
I'm proud of what I make because it makes people happy, and it makes people happy in the sense of it's my work, and they actually get a kick out of it. My mother's words, not mine.
Oh, John Reynolds says I have a hardback first edition of Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze.
That's cool.
Nice.
Right on.
That is really cool.
Friggin' rocks.
Yeah.
There's something interesting I want to bring up here. Like I said, I'm continuously wrestling with this, constantly talking to myself as if I'm on a tightrope, crossing between the Twin Towers, questioning my own balance, right? Do I
Right.
really know? Am I really sure? Should I proceed forward, or should I just pause here and take a break maybe for 5 seconds? Because I was bullied, like not just during my education, but by most of my family as I was growing up, because they were very traditional and I was artistic. The school was very, very restricted and conservative, and
Right.
I was very, very liberal. I was
Yeah.
also very creative and very outspoken as well. And as time moved on, my callousing from the bullying actually turned into a kind of like stage lights kind of confidence.
Right.
And we've heard this story 100 times from other artists that it was the bullying that displaced the hero.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everybody can be creative, but there are certain characters that are displaced into creativity. They were always kind of creative, but
Mhm.
by poking them, you created a kind of super monster, a good
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
but a super monster nonetheless. And we've seen this in origin stories 100 times. So what the world is doing right now to the creative community, conscious or otherwise, they are bullying us into becoming superheroes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the seed for creativity is certainly there. It's take a game plan to get something going, like a new movie studio, but we see it in smaller scale with comic book creators like Ethan Van Sciver and now Eric July, who just through sheer force of will blew everybody out of the water with his campaign for his Isom comic book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's just incredible.
It
Through
is.
sheer force of will and determination. I mean, if you looked up the word determination in the dictionary, there would be a picture of Eric July right there.
Right, right. Only and he replaced the one of Sisyphus, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what that story is all about. That's what the whole Sisyphus, blah, 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 blah.
I know. I can't.
That's what he was all about. It's all about perseverance. You keep pushing that rock uphill, no matter how hard it tries to put you downhill. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yep. And that's the perfect example right there, right? You're gonna keep on poking the bear. All right. Well, then let's see what happens.
That's right.
And he makes over $2 million.
Yeah.
And I think he's still fighting with PayPal to get like all the money or something like that.
Oh my God. And now with these bank collapses, he must be experiencing all kinds of silliness.
Yeah.
Oh, I imagine.
What about the comic book that Keanu Reeves was involved in?
Oh yeah.
How's that one doing?
Good one.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. Was it Berserk or something? I can't remember the name of it. But you know, and he let himself be a character in the comic book, basically, you know, his likeness or whatever. And it's doing really good. So, you know, there are stars that are interested in promoting this because they're also fans. Isn't there, what was the name of the actor that played The Witcher and Superman? I can't remember his name.
Henry Cavill.
He is also an advocate to try to get back to the grounds of what the origins of comic books are, you know, the stories, get back to that. So I think if you could get some type of campaign going to pursue this whole avenue, that you could get stars that would probably do it for no money and do like political, commentary or commercials and things like that to push the whole thing about getting back to the roots of comics, you know, the ground, back to the whatever, you know, grassroots of comic books type of thing. Get back to that. And I'm sure you could find plenty of people that'd be interested. I think you could find voiceover people for cartoons. I'm sure we could find tons of different aspects from the industry that'd be willing to contribute something to help get this off the ground. I really do think that you could do it.
Well, then I'm going to announce it. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm serious, man. I'll put out a video on Thursday, and you know what? I'll announce it, as crazy as it is, and you know, let's. let's all get on this and let's
Yeah.
do something. Let's do something crazy.
And
Let's
Mike,
do something
I'm
fun.
going to call SSS on it. Okay, simple.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
start simple, stupid. Okay,
Yep.
but Steamboat Willie was the
Mhm.
simplest cartoon they could produce in that time, and they
Yep.
just wanted to show off their wares. Somebody needs to whistle, somebody needs to stomp their feet on some wood, and that's it. That's all we
Yep.
need for ADR. Okay,
That's right.
really, really simple. This is not about the production. It's about getting the logistics of the production
Yeah.
to cycle through once. And then
Mhm.
once you get it to cycle through once, you could build on that success. But keep it freaking simple. Not 30 books, not a whole universe, just one
Yeah.
little clip. That's it. Black
All
and
you
white,
need is
even.
the concept of it, what it
And
is
just
that you're wanting to do, and that's it. And go from that, and then you build.
Well, that's
on
the crazy thing, Janet,
That's
is
right.
that the product is not what we want to do. The product is the end result. What Mike is actually proposing here is
Mhm.
how to get a virtual studio, a grassroots virtual studio up and running. That's the real creativity. That's the
Yeah.
real creative part,
Yeah,
not the end
the
product.
beginning of
That's
something
right.
huge that could be
Like-
huge.
Right.
Like ILM, you know, I mean, you look, and I highly recommend anybody out there that's trying to get something started, go way back to the beginning of that industry and read as many
Yep.
biographies as you possibly can get your hands on, because
Mhm.
those guys, all you know is it was all about blood, sweat, and tears. I don't
Yep.
care how far back or how current day, it's all about the damn blood, sweat, and tears. You got to bleed, you got to sweat,
That's
okay,
right.
and you got to cry, and you're gonna cry. There's just
Oh,
no
yeah.
getting around it. Grow up and move on. That's
Yeah,
just
it's
the way it
just like
works.
any of these groups that you've seen. They're now doing these little fellowship meetings or meet and greets. Okay,
Yeah.
the very first group was probably at 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the thing is, that they came back and told their friends, "Oh, I had so much fun. It was so cool to put the face to the name and get to hang out with them and have a beer or have a lunch or whatever it is." And then the next time they did it, there was more people, and then the next time it'd be more. But the whole thing is just constantly talking about it, promoting it through word of mouth, and
Mhm.
sharing how much fun you had and the camaraderie that you had, and then more people are going to want to go, and you try to make it an essential location where more and more people can attend, and give them the time to save up their money or whatever and carpool and go to and keep doing it. And then each time you do it, it's going to be a little bigger, and that's how you focus on it. You just got to start.
Disney Sheepherder. We own Steamboat Willie next year. Yep, you're right.
Dude, talk about a project. I mean, could you
Yeah.
imagine if everybody on the day that it goes back into public domain just stormed YouTube with Steamboat Willie knockoffs? Like
Yeah, yeah.
somebody in the backyard with a cardboard box and a trash can lid,
Yep.
and he just does his version of Steamboat Willie with a little bit of a
Mhm.
goofy whistle. Like everybody, like 100,000 of them up online, 10 seconds long, just bombard the internet. And yeah, go ahead and copyright claim every single one of us, you bastards.
Yeah,
You know?
trash YouTube. That would be freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
Wouldn't it? Let's
Awesome.
do
I
it,
love
man.
it.
You want
I
to talk
think
about
it
a project
would. I think
announcement,
it's a
Mike?
great idea. I think it's an awesome idea.
Steamboat
Marco,
Willie
Vinci.
Day.
I wonder where we could find something like that. Yeah, I wonder.
Public domain,
Yep.
Hmm.
Disney Sheepherder.
abandoned.
GoFundMe for real geeks only. I don't know. I think I want to stay away from GoFundMe because of what they did with the truckers last year.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, maybe something else. I'd be open to it.
I don't know what's the one that Drew's using.
Patreon? I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Um,
I don't remember who was using it.
I
for.
don't have Patreon personally. I never use it. Well, I never ever do. But my thing is start do a Patreon, and like when people put towards it, you can like put down like a product or movie or film or just stuff.
Yeah.
But-
I heard about.
I'll
these
let
two
you know.
guys
I'll
doing-
donate one of my pictures that
There
I
you
made,
go.
the rhinestone pictures. I'll make
Yeah.
one and I'll send it to you, and then you can use it as in your raffle to start off or something. Stuff
and
like
Rick was
that.
Steve, I heard about these two guys doing something. Did you really? I think I know what two guys you're talking about, Steve. So
what I was going to say was
I'll have my people talk to your people, and we'll try to do something, huh?
I'm working on a series on my channel called Rise of Rodimus Prime. I have released episode 1. It's simple, gets to the point, talks about like what happens and all. And you can tell like the first part of it's like a little fast paced, but then it slows down. It's like almost the end. But I left that as a cliffhanger at the end of the video. I want to build upon the story, build upon the characters in it, and I have a lot of help with like I have friends on Discord, I have people in servers, I have an uncle. He's a storyboard director of shows and all that. He worked on the original Ben 10 series. He was the cartoonist. I'm trying to remember. His name was Scooter Tidwell. Well, his name is Scooter Tidwell. He's my uncle.
Cool.
Oh,
He has an IMD page. Look him up. He's great.
Okay. Rank receive Larry and Harry.
the two guys.
Mike,
Really, the two guys, yeah. So,
have you
Mike
seen?
and Bike. Hold on. I have a great idea for a show. Mike and Bike. Mike, the human, and Bike the bike.
no, there we go.
Right.
What was that, Stephen?
Have you seen anime rock paper scissors yet?
No.
No.
I
Oh my
think I
God!
might
Has
have
anybody
seen
on the panel?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
That's new to me.
These two guys, they're
Right.
probably much more wealthy than they even appear in the documentary on the subject, but
Yeah.
they're young filmmakers. They did a video session of their storyline, which is twin brothers arguing over who's going to take over the kingdom, and they play the legendary game rock, paper, cross swords, right?
Okay.
And it's done epic anime style, like it was a match in like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like the fists go up in the air and the whole castle trembles like that, like that. And it's really really good. It's super tight. But
Mhm.
here's the thing: the production value was raised when they went from video
Right.
in costume using an AI to animated cells,
Oh.
and the AI filled in the background for them. They showed the AI what backgrounds they wanted,
Mhm.
and let the video drive the camera angle, and they would put into the cue marks like heavenly light shows down during this bit of dialogue, blah blah. And the production values are off the chart, and they're like, we
Wow.
didn't do any animation. It's
Wow.
basically rotoscoping via AI,
Huh.
That's crazy.
and it's
Cool.
really good. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Oh, you're
So-
gonna have to send me a link now. Jeez.
I would
Yeah,
want
put
to
the
know.
link in the private chat
Okay,
so we can all have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that to Super Goji as well, that you should experiment with AI doing some of your in-betweening. So you could do more radical poses with a shorter keyframe set, and do fewer cells of in-betweening using AI. Like give it a beginning shot and an ending shot and see what the computer does in between. Pick and choose. And just for style's sake, you could really probably green light and push through a whole project of stop motion animation using some of these tools that are not going away, kids. Okay. I know it's creepy. I know it's scary. I know it's tragic, but they're not going away, and they are really incredible. So use them. We said the
Yeah.
same thing about Photoshop back in the day, didn't we? And now look at us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we said the
Yeah.
same thing about sculpture versus CAD, and now look at us. Okay,
Yeah.
we're all using CAD. We're all using these things. There's no getting around it. But okay, I'll find the link now that I've been a chatterbox for way
That
too
sounds
long.
cool.
What I do I look upon people's work. I look at the Godzilla movies, Transformers, and I try to make the character sound like a character. Now, certain characters in my my series, for example, Burnout, they have never had our cartoon appearance, so I had to make an own persona for that character, a lighthearted character, like a very nice supporting character that helps Rodimus deal with the leadership issues that he's been placed upon with the disappearance of Optimus Prime. It's interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's been a year. I had the original idea last year. I worked on a script type thing, and then I kept like redoing it, and then I finally had the time to film it this year. I was gonna release it on my birthday, February 26th. Then my channel got deleted because reasons. I got my new channel put up, and that's the first video I put on there. It's doing okay. It has 53 views currently, but once I get more editing, learning from the internet and all that, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna try to make the film more stop motion than moving the characters with like recording. It's a process, but
Hey,
I'm gonna
Snuggle
take.
Freaking Puss.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's see. What are we talking about? We're raging against the machine, dude. We're talking about just basically doing our own stuff at this point.
Yeah,
I'm working
they've left
on
us no other
series.
choice.
First, we were talking about how coffee is now racist, and that was the
I jumped in that conversation like I'm so
And-
confused. What is going on?
and then basically people getting fired from Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that. And now we're talking about essentially starting our own thing at this point. So
We want to take over Hollywood.
Yeah.
exactly, we are the Mavericks that will do our.
I
own
want to
Make
put
a
my
better
own touch
Hollywood.
on a franchise
Yeah.
I love.
Ooh, actually, you know what? That sounds like a pretty damn good name for a studio, Maverick Studios,
Yeah.
without Tom Cruise. So we couldn't afford him.
Yeah, you better look that up.
Yeah,
I think that
We
was
don't have
already
Tom
taken.
Cruise. We have
Somebody
Tom
might
Boat.
Probably,
Tom Boat
probably.
instead of Tom Cruise.
So,
Hey, God bless him. I mean, for all of his bizarreness, okay, let's not forget some of our most historical characters have got some pretty bizarre stories in their
Yeah.
background as well. But he came through. He
He
did a
did.
sequel of his own movie. He got the contracts written. He got the production money. He probably went on hand and knee to Scientology and got the funding or whatever he did. He at least gave us a product worthy of rewatch.
good night, Penny.
Exactly.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye bye.
Yeah, just like Ryan Reynolds did to
With,
get the first
Deadpool.
Deadpool
Yep.
after he was made to look like a total fool.
Yep.
Yeah,
He was
That
like, what in the
Wolverine
movie.
schnoz doodles?
Yeah, that was horrid. What they
Take
did to
on-
Deadpool in that movie, I was very upset
Yeah.
about it.
Yep.
So
Take on
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I love that name, Hollyweird. We should call ourselves that.
Hollywood.
Do it.
Hollyweird.
Now,
Yeah,
say what
we
you
should
will
go
about
Hollywood.
Tom Cruise. Say what you will about Tom Cruise. It's amazing. I just recently saw Top Gun Maverick on streaming, and I was brought to tears by it. I mean, I don't say
Yeah.
that often.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was.
There's two movies in the past 4 or 5 years that I wish I had seen in a theater.
Mhm.
Ford versus Ferrari and
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
Mhm.
If there's ever a theater that had both of those, like a double feature, I would be there.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's another thing too. Brick and mortar theaters in the near
Yeah.
future, they should seriously consider doing what they did when we were kids, which was buy up some old film, get the right to show them, or
Yeah.
invite public showings of private collections. However you got to play it, but buy up some warehouse, turn it into a theater. Hey, buy up some of these old silly churches that got turned into a theater, got turned into churches after being a theater for 50 years.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how many times did we see that?
Um,
Brick and mortar revival theaters has got to be part of the future. It's got to be.
Yeah, I
Otherwise, the
saw
theaters
a
will
few drive-in theaters open up during the
Yeah.
pandemic because they were outdoors. People were in their own vehicles, and it was really nice to see them take the old drive-ins and fix them up, repaint
Mhm.
them,
Mhm.
and to see them filled with real people in cars and kids going, "Wow, who knew we could watch movies outside?" They
Yeah.
I
thought
know,
it was
right?
the coolest thing
Yeah.
ever.
Oh my God, we can watch
just think about
movies outside.
Yeah, a rebirth of something old and making it new
Yeah.
again. So
Yep.
the concept of that, because of the situation we've been in, a lot of people and entrepreneurs used it to their advantage and got a whole new generation to see something that they never would have if it hadn't been for the epidemic,
Yeah,
basically.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
something good can come from bad if
Yeah.
people use their imagination. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike, you're talking about reinvigorating, an industry and exploring the possibility of doing this ourselves. All you need to do is paint one wall in a gigantic mall parking lot and
Yeah.
just open up a drive-in movie theater right there at your local mall, which may be abandoned at this point anyway.
Mhm.
So
True.
bring in some damn
Very
revenue, turn it into a tailgate party, get it done, man. It's possible. You could do
Yeah.
it.
Totally.
This guy has major ideas we need to build upon.
Yep. That's right.
Look at that face.
I
Yeah.
was born
Why
for it,
not?
man.
Well, with that being said, boy, we're pretty much at 2.5 hours here, so this has been awesome.
Wow, the time
I'm loving
flies.
this. I know. So I think we're going to call it a night because I got some busy stuff to do tomorrow. I'll tell you that for sure. I'll tell you what, need to do some business stuff going on tomorrow. So I want to thank everybody that showed up here. First of all, on this panel, Janet, thank you very much for stopping by. It was
You're
awesome
welcome.
having you.
Yeah.
And Super Koji, great to see you back, man. A couple of weeks ago, there was somebody here that was kind of worried about you, just wondering if you were okay. So great to see you back.
I'm
And,
glad to be back on YouTube. It's great.
Cool.
Awesome, man. And Pop Culture Republic, awesome as
Mhm.
always to have
Thank
you
you.
here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Pleasure meeting you, sir.
Yeah.
Pleasure
Same
meeting
here.
you, sir.
And Stephen, great to have you on the panel, man. It was awesome.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Really enjoy you having on.
I'm gonna give this idea. I'm gonna throw it out there. You should start a Discord server. All these ideas, we need more people in this. We need to start an army. We need an army of people to just start this project.
Yeah, I think so. So, and for everybody in the chat who was here tonight, well, we had Penny that was here. She was the first one in here, and Christian Delorme that also stopped in, and we had the lovely Sherry, and the one and only my Fez brother John Rendell that was here as well, and the Lost Wanderer. And who else? We had Pacific 414 that was also here. And of course, Disney Sheepherder that always seems to make it on time. And who else did we have? Yes,
Snaggle came in at the end there.
Snaggle
I
Fricklepuss.
think so, yep.
That's right. I love that name. I don't know why. I just love that name. So, and oh yeah, that's right. And Rancor Steve also dropped by too.
Mhm.
So, and Gap After Dark. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty much everyone that stopped on over and stopped on by. So, yeah, great for all of you guys just stopping in. So it's I really appreciate you guys just dropping on in and being part of the chat and just being very interactive here. It makes it great for this channel and for everybody that's here on the panel tonight. Just taking part and just hearing back from everybody because I honestly believe that each and every one of us, doesn't matter if you're in the chat or on this panel right now, has a voice, and we're the ones that want to support an industry that not just
Doesn't get
really
the love.
that really just wants to just take us away from reality and forget all the ills, but that's kind of part of it. We have enough just dealing with the drudgeries of life. We just need a break. And this is what TV and movies are supposed to provide, a little bit of entertainment to just take the stresses of life away.
Yes.
And if we can't do it, then you know what? We'll find it elsewhere. And at this point, you know what? We'll do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because at this point, as old as I am, I'm turning into a cantankerous old fart. So, and I'll proudly wear that like a badge of honor. So
I still got a few years, a bunch of years ahead of me. I'm going to learn a lot of things from the near future.
You just wait another
Yep.
30 years and then you'll be in our position. You'll hate everything.
Go. I'll be an old
Or
fart
not.
too. I'm gonna wear that badge too.
That's
Well,
right.
all of us are going to grow old, hopefully.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, that's my concern, Janet. Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I just want to be around as long as I can be.
that's right. I got a goal of 120. I'll be happy if I make it to 100. So,
I got a goal
You know.
of 125 because I don't know why 25. I just like the number 125.
from all of us here on Titillating Tuesdays, enter the Geekosphere, to everybody out there, and whether or not you're gonna watch us on the replay or not, I greatly appreciate I can't even talk right now. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you that comes to this channel and watches all of this. And yeah, you know what? Who knows? I'll probably announce a Thursday that I got this big industrial sized plan, and
Cool.
we'll see who wants to be on board. And
Subscribe to the Comic Relief Crusader.
that's right. So everybody here, why don't you plug yourselves while you still got the chance, so I'm not hogging the whole entire chat right here, right now.
Ladies
So-
first.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
ladies first.
I'm just I just mostly do shorts. I just make little short videos, pickup lines, just little goofy stuff that I think is fun. It's very, spontaneous. It's whatever pops in my head. And I'm also reading my book called Revelation, it's about vampires, witches, warlocks, and familiars. And I'm reading it in like little bite-sized pieces, 10 or 15-minute videos. And then on Monday nights, I do a movie review show called A Girl and a Guy in a Movie on Bruce Lombardi of Dick's Division's channel.
Right.
Awesome.
And normally
Cool.
on Tuesday nights, I would be on the United Resistance on Supreme Heretics channel, but he's not feeling well. So that's why I did it tonight. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing the rest of the week.
Right on. I was second choice. Yes.
Well, I would do surfing the web because I was going to do a show tonight anyways, but I didn't have one to do. So I saw
Okay.
you and I jumped on yours.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I really enjoy coming on this show because I remember the long time ago, the Crusader, Mike, that's his name. I know. I just now know your name because he said it. You popped in my Discord server. And we were like freaking out because you work for XTransbots, a really good third-party company. I subscribed to your channel. I watched your videos. Then I discovered you do live streams. So I popped my head and started chatting with you in the live streams. It's really good. I like it.
Thanks, man. You got a channel to plug?
Oh, I do. I started a new channel, Super Goji Reviews Redux. I'm redoing older reviews. I'm starting a new series. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to start doing third-party figures. I only have one so far.
You got it.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much for
Yeah, no
mentioning.
problem.
And I do shorts. I steal TikTok videos from my TikTok and throw it on YouTube and get the views. But mostly reviews, games, whatever.
Awesome.
Wherever tickles
Um,
my fancy.
And Pop Culture Republic.
All right. Well, my channel is Pop Culture Republic, where I try to be more entertaining than watching golf on PBS. I usually talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, anything that I like, and things that I don't like, things that I don't understand, things that annoy me, so on and so on. Trying to do more live streaming off and on with something I like to call late night ramblings.
Ooh.
Done a couple of those back to back in the past few days. Hopefully hoping to do more live streams and getting back to the occasional video.
Nice. With a drink of Chianti, perhaps?
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. And Stephen Ransom. Go for it,
Hey,
dude.
man. I'm going to be. I've been trying to keep myself just penciled in here and there. I was just over at Flaccid Phoenix's channel yesterday night. He was doing this thing called an ejection show, where it's basically discussing pop culture through a bunch of games. And
Oh,
whoever gets a little too ornery for the crowd, they just get ejected from the panel, a la ejection seat clip. So that was a lot of fun. But this Thursday coming up, Roman of the Empire is reviewing or finishing our review cycle on the Alien franchise. We did movies 1 and 2 last week.
Wow.
Really,
Nice.
really good show. About 3.5
Cool.
hours of content of discussion on the subject. And this week we're going to tackle 3 through Hellscape. So Hellscape meaning the sequels that we got. The Alien franchise is just destroyed completely. So, but that's where I'm going to be at. That's 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 or so, 8 o'clock East Coast. And I'm a California dweller, so my West Coast is U.S. West Coast.
I forgive you.
It's okay, whatever. I didn't know this was all going to happen when I moved here. I moved here in '98 when things were actually looking up.
Oh, there you go.
They hadn't even finished the Kodak Theater yet. I swear to God, man, I
Wow.
moved into town. They hadn't even finished the Kodak Theater yet. So the Academy Awards location hadn't even been constructed yet. That's how long ago I moved to LA, back in '98.
And
I was already 27 at that point. Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Oh, if we could see the future.
That's right.
Well, guys, thank you all very much for joining in, and I will see you next week on Titillating Tuesdays, and quite possibly tomorrow. I don't know. I may or may not be on Pop Culture Breakdown with Doomcock. It seems like every once in a while I get invited on there, so I don't know if I'm going to be on there or not. Yeah, I know. It's been kind of weird. It's like every once in a while, it's like, hey, you want to come on the show? It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Why not?
You're lucky.
I know, right?
I love Doomcock.
It's kind of surreal, right? It's like, like one day I was kind of asked to go on the show. It's like, okay. And so I went on because, Doomcock at this point has over 300,000 followers, right? And I'm like, so everybody's like, just keep it cool, keep it professional. It's like, all right, yeah, sure, no problem. And, next thing I know in the private chat, I'm getting messages like, you're knocking it out of the park, Mike. It's like, oh, thank God, right? Because I was like, oh, crap, I hope I'm doing okay. But, yeah, so I guess I did something right. And then on Thursday nights over at Rancor Steve's channel for Manorama, where we talk about men stuff and have a little bit of fun in the meantime. So, except for last week, that kind of got out of hand, but I don't control the content, nor do I control Gary Ambrosia's mouth or his use of a certain this or that.
But it was for St. Patrick's Day too, so
That's true.
Right.
So yeah, I should have brought my more Irishy voice into that and do all that kind of stuff and whatnot. And
oh boy,
yeah,
Shays.
exactly.
You
right?
should have had just a wee bit more cabbage before you showed up on a stream like that. At
I
least
know.
a few more pints should have been ingested. At least.
That's right. I should have been eating more potatoes and stuff like that there. Shame on me for not doing that anymore.
God, Mike, I can't believe that Doomcock just blew up. I mean, he was big when I first discovered him like 6 years ago. But crying out loud, he's megalithic now. It's out of control.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
grief,
Right?
He made that mask. He had no idea. I mean, he must have felt the mask vibrating in his hand with fate and destiny.
He's got a great stick with it too. I mean, it's fantastic. I came across him 3 years ago with his reviews for Star Trek Disco, and those were great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that nailed it for me right there.
Sweet. But yeah, guys, no, I really appreciate all of you coming on and having fun tonight, and to everybody out in the chat, and so from all of me to all of you out there, thank you for dropping on by on Titillating Tuesdays, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Later, everybody.
bye-bye.
Night.
Night.